not seeing faces, but we can just keep on talking. So,
Where's this at?
where's it streaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, everywhere. It's on my main Facebook page. It's on my podcast channel. It's on Twitch. It's on Periscope. It's not on Instagram because Instagram can't stream. I have like a multi-streaming service, so it spreads it to like.
Sweet.
So I send it one place. So I have like a little broadcast studio software, and then it sends it one spot, and then it shotguns it everywhere. So I used to have like phone on phone on phone and iPad and stuff like that. What's going on, fam? What's up, Crystal? So, yeah. So we got all the peeps coming.
Where are you? What comments you reading off of? The Facebook?
Well, I can see, yeah. So if you're wherever you're watching, so if you're looking on the YouTube, I mean, you'll see them pop up on the screen. So I like to leave them up in the corner because people that just watch the video, it's kind of like, oh, cool, people are watching from everywhere. And I'm looking at it. I have like another browser window open where I see like the chat larger. So I have to like resize it. So in other words, the broadcasting software, it's like I design it. So I see you on like one monitor. I have like it looks like NASA. It looks like a control center over here.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing you I'm not seeing it on the Daily Swole.
On the Daily Soul channel. It's because it takes a couple moments. It's like Facebook is really integrated well, but sometimes,
I'll go over the Facebook then. What the fuck, man?
People are posting. So if you're, there's sometimes it's like it takes a few minutes to hook in and to stream and to show up, and plus notifications are garbage.
Here we are.
Larger, so I have to like resize it. So let everyone come in.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, what did he post? What Vince post?
Oh, how to get bigger arms? What a fucking loon! I mean, like
you better have big arms first before you're gonna fucking talk about getting bigger arms.
No shit. You know, like how the fuck did I?
How the fuck you doing, Vince? Where's Vince? Maybe he's in.
How the fuck you doing, Vince?
Maybe he's live. I should tag him.
Well, I guarantee you he's blocked me. So he's blocked me. I think he's blocked me more thoroughly than like Tess and them. You know, like I think he blocks like people that are well. Although Tess blocks people that just know me.
Tess blocks like your cat. Tess block.
Yeah, seriously.
Did Madeline block your second channel yet?
No, I don't think she realized who it was. Just to be real.
I wouldn't doubt it. She's not a lot of gears upstairs.
I'm sure she does now because she probably if she doesn't, one of her people do. That's for sure. But what a fucking.
Let's get into this. Let's just jump right into it.
I don't even get it, man. Like how she's not even fit.
I know.
She's not even fit. You know, like one of my wife's workouts would fucking destroy her. You know, I mean, like it would leave her crippled. You know, like it really would. Like, you know, I mean, because my wife's workouts are harder than mine.
Yeah.
But it would fucking destroy her. Like I don't understand how. I mean, I get it because of the whole like how she wears her pants and shit. But I mean, I just to then morph that into 1 million followers.
Dude,
what the fuck are we doing wrong?
Have you seen when you post a YouTube video and you type in a tag and it gives you like suggested tags and it says, oh, you might want to put this. Every time I put her name, like the first few, it says Madeline Georgetta thigh gap. It's like the first one that pops up is her thigh gap, and I'm like, geez, everyone's concerned about this. Everyone looks at her and thinks, what the hell's going on with her legs? But I mean, It's like everyone's different, so it's not like a big deal. It's pretty funny what people pick up on.
It's just so like egregious to me that like people. First of all, like just because you look a certain way does not mean you know what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I mean? At all. Like, and people depend way too much on aesthetics for shit like that. Like, don't get me wrong, you should be able to apply your physical knowledge to you. I mean, I really believe that as a trainer, as a coach, as a fitness person, you should be able to. But some people just look good. Some people have good genetics. Like, I don't even think she looks that good. Like, I think she is like the human embodiment of muscle imbalances, if you ask me. I mean, you could tell she's worked on her ass way more than the rest of her physique, you know, and that just breeds muscular imbalances. Like a deadlift would probably fuck her back up, you know.
Well,
I just
this chick has not done a deadlift in her fucking life. That's
probably not.
that goes hands down. I mean, what I picked up the first time when I made that video on her camel toe, on her camel toe complaint and that whole bullshit. She was doing some side raises and she had no muscle control. Like you can tell because of your experience being, in the fitness industry for so long, you can tell when someone doesn't have neuromuscular coordination, when they don't have balance, they don't have, and she was kind of, arms were too close, it was too rigid. It kind of looked like a baby bird. I'm like, this is not someone that exercises. So that's what caught my eyes first, because her workouts, she was making all these faces as if it was like challenging, and they were like 10-pound gold dumbbells, and it was done in some kind of like Pier 1 imports or whatever. I don't know, she looked like she was in a showroom.
Now, how calculated do you think her shift is lately? Like, because I mean, she's totally shifted.
How is it planned out? Is someone telling her what to do?
Yeah.
I think she probably got coached and encouraged, and I wouldn't say bullied, but I think she doesn't have or didn't have a lot of direction to begin with. And I think someone was probably, kind of got inside her head, because she doesn't know about exercise. So what would she know about running like a social media company, essentially, which is the way you have to think about it. So I think it just kind of, once you go, you go all in. Like she's just digging in. Like that's what all those social justice people do. It's like when they get defensive, they don't have a conversation. They just dig in deeper, and then.
I think like I see her content, like I know, like I can tell she has like a team that helps her put her posts together. Like the daily check-ins about the diet culture detox thing. Like if you look at it, it's set up as as an email mailer, like a marketing email mailer, where she mentions key phrases, keywords. It's set up in blocks with a little emoji thing. She always mentions her app, which you did a great job of pointing that shit out too, by the way. Like delete all these other apps. But here's my app. Like it's, I saw the comments are always so amazing. Like it actually does give me a little hope, because like people are getting more intelligent,
Oh, people are jumping on her first.
And people like, people saying like, when she listed off the $33 billion for the fitness industry or for the diet industry, like you're part of that. With you have a $20 a month app, you're actually part of that fucking figure, and I can't prove it or not, but I really think that those, like the books she keeps pushing, it would not surprise me if there was some sort of sponsorship there. It really wouldn't.
Well, she's not even just giving them a shout out. I mean, she mentions them every single post, and she mentioned it repeatedly. And it's like, geez, you're really up these people's asses. And
that's her answer to your argument. Like she's like, okay, you stated an argument. Go read this book. Tell me what the book says, first of all. Like, I mean, like, tell me why I should tell me how that refutes my argument. I'm not going to read 300 fucking pages of some drivel just to hear that I was right.
I know, for sure, man. But before we get even deeper into this, why don't you just give yourself a little intro, because some of my people might not know who you are. What's going on, everyone that's tuning in? Welcome. This is the Bald Acceptance Podcast, episode 1.
I see that in the background.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that until just now.
I had to. So this is episode 1161 of the Swole. So we're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, everywhere but Instagram. So just tell everyone like where they can find you, a little bit about you, your background, and why we're doing this podcast. And this is not the first time. This is podcast number 3. So let everyone know a little bit about yourself.
I'm Alan Roberts. I run the YouTube channel Every Damn Day Fitness. I'm part of the Damn Collective, that's the coaching service that my wife and I provide, from Damn Strength Athletics to Every Damn Day Fitness, where we help obese people and people lose weight and get to healthy weights. We even help underweight people get to healthy weights too. We run a what I call Common Sense Approach Fitness channel, or Common Sense Approach Fitness business, meaning I couldn't give a fuck less about your six pack. I just want you to be healthy for to see your grandkids type shit. Like I've done everything from kind of comedy roasts of fitness individuals and fashion people and other people to just kind of making sure, like I look at myself as kind of the unfortunate swearing counterweight to ridiculous bullshit that I think is negatively affecting people in the fitness world. My history: I'm an NASM trainer, weight loss specialist, fitness nutrition specialist, and my dog just scratched me out. Hang on a second. before I got back into fitness full time, I worked in healthcare nutrition. I have a degree in healthcare management or healthcare administration, along in accounting, and I worked in that for like 15 years before I got back into fitness by accident, you know. And as it is right now, I'm either one of the most liked or hated people in fitness. So, which I'm happy about.
I'm not. I probably fall somewhere in that same similar category. How'd you get started doing like the roast? Because when you first hit me up, months ago, and we first started having a conversation about all this stuff, I noticed that we kind of both started doing rants in the car. Like you started doing stuff in your car, I started doing stuff in my car out of convenience. What was
It's convenience? Yeah, it was convenience completely. I my old job, like, and people don't realize this. I was like a corporate executive. My last job, I had like a large region. I was a regional director, and I would go to different health cares and help with the nutrition, dietary department, dietitians, that sort of thing. Like I ran the whole show. So I would like leave my job in my suit and tie, change into a t-shirt, and just rant in the car in the parking lot of health cares and shit like that. And honestly, we did it just for fun. My wife and I sat down years ago. Our son was getting ready to graduate high school, and I was traveling a lot for work. And my wife is by far my best friend. She's my favorite person. We are each other's people. And I just didn't want to travel anymore. Like, so, okay, what can we do? Like, if I wanted to work in my same field and not travel, the pay wasn't nearly as good and the hours were even longer, you know? And we were like, well, and at the time because my wife is like a very accomplished fitness professional. She's a, personal trainer, group fitness instructor, yoga instructor, Paleo, Pilates, TRX, second tier. Like, the fucking resume is ridiculous, right? And she was already in it, and I was like, I was in the fitness industry before. To be in the fitness industry, as you know, most people don't know. Most people don't know. Like, you can't. The days of you could be a fitness YouTuber and make tons of money are gone. Like, gone. Thankfully, because I think that there's an innate problem with that. But to be in the fitness world and make a living, you need to have multiple revenue streams, right? That's why people have apparel. That's why people have programs and coaching and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And that's why social media is so important. So I was like, well, we were figuring out revenue streams. We could do personal coaching. We could do online classes. We could do this. And I was like, and I'm kind of an asshole. So I'll just start doing some fitness comedy on YouTube, and we'll make money and it'll be funny. Right. And we literally laughed, we laughed about it, And the concept of every damn day fitness, like the concept of every damn day, came from one of my high school friends was what called me wanting to get in shape and all like that. And I went through what she needed to do every day, and she was like, "I have to do that every day." I'm like, "Yeah, every day." And she was like, "But it's I have to like watch what I eat and all like that every day." I was like, "Every damn day you need to do that." And we were like, "Oh, bing," it's a good idea. And so that's what we called the channel. And I just started making a few roasts, and it caught on. And then one of the bigger things was, I don't know if you've ever heard of these people, but I call them fictional patterns, but the functional pattern guru guy, Nadia Aguilera, I was kind of ripping on them for a while. And at the same time, they were kind of ripping on Jeff Cavaliere from Wrath of the Next. And I made my first like positive video about somebody where it was like an Athlete X review. It's like, okay, like, obviously finally at least somebody speaks like at least common sense. It's actually physiologically sound, blah, blah, blah. And at the time I was getting like the fictional patterns people were like trying to hack all my social media. Like, I was getting notifications like somebody tried to access your social media from this way, like blah, blah, blah. Like they were actively trying to hack into my fucking accounts, right?
Oh shit.
And I got an email from like a Gmail account saying, "Hey, this is Jeff Cavaliere. I saw your video on me. I was wondering if you wanted to speak at my event." I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's a Gmail account. This is Athlete X, like fucking bullshit, right? And I sent an email back. And I'm like, I don't even fucking believe it. So I contacted him on Facebook Messenger. And I explained like, hey, I have people trying to hack my account, blah, blah, blah. Is this really you? He was like, yeah, that was really me. So we went to that event, and honestly, I'd been to a few other, like I'd already been to like a few different events with other large YouTubers. I went to StyleCon because I was ripping on the fashion guys and stuff like that. But Jeff kind of sat me down at the first half of the next 2 years. Like, well, no, it'll be. We're getting ready to be at our third one. Both my wife and I are speaking at this one. But I spoke at it and like that. And at the end, he sat me down. And he was like, "So, what do you really want to do with fitness?" And I was like, "Well, you know, I just kind of viewed it as kind of a joke. I got a kid to put through college, blah 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 blah, right?
Mhm.
So I can't really make it." He was like, "Well," he was like, "You could do it." He was like, if you would write a program, I'd buy it. He was like, that's how much I appreciate you. And it just kind of changed our outlook. So we went home and kind of looked at what we could do and started making a functional effort. And then about 2 years ago, I left my corporate gig and we just started doing fitness full time. So and paying the bills and everything like that. And then it's doing really really well. Well enough that we've brought on some coaches for Damn Collective. So it's like now we have a team of coaches, not just us. And the goal is to help as many people get healthy as possible in a world where there's a concerted effort to make people feel that it's okay to be sickly. So I mean, it's been a neat fucking run of just making. I call it like divisive. It's divisive progression, meaning like I will either make allies or enemies. There's not really in between.
It seems like that's where the trend of everything is. Like you're on our team, or if you're not with us, you're against us. And there's not a lot of middle ground. And
see, but I think I'm so middle
yeah,
ground. I think that's why that's where I kind of stand. Because I don't believe bodybuilding is healthy at all.
no,
I mean,
no.
I don't think getting. In fact, I have a video coming up here shortly that discusses that shit more at length, especially for women. Bodybuilding is fucking. If you're out there and you're a woman and you're thinking that getting below 10% body fat is in any way good for you at all, that is an unhealthy endeavor. You are going to very negatively impact your future.
Women that get involved with that, not to mention just like the poor relationship with food, but it's just horrific for your hormones. Women just, they're amenorrhea, they don't get their period. I mean, I know many women that just, it never comes back. Like they never have a regular menstrual cycle again, and they're always dealing with these types of shits.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, it can be very detrimental. And I mean, and people are starting to see that, which is really good. There's a few people out there. I'm doing a video on one of them. I don't want to give it away, but I'm doing a video on one of them coming up where I don't think people can see me now.
I think they are.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they can see me. Okay. I see you 2 times on my screen.
Yeah, but there's a slight delay for the stream.
The hair's triggering me, man. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
But I consider myself really middle of the road. Like, I mean, I believe in just like, because the problem is like I have a video not too long ago where the fitness industry is responsible for the fat acceptance movement. I really believe this. Like, if you look at it logically, it is the ridiculous. If you don't have a 6-pack, you're not shit. If you aren't, ripped, you're not shit. If you don't have this, if you don't have that, you're not nothing. When you look at shit that way, no wonder people are just like, okay, it's like when you set this completely unattainable standard, the pendulum is going to swing the other fucking way. When you've got people that all of a sudden say you need to be shredded all year long, no matter what, and you need to be able to deadlift 600 pounds, and you need to be blah, 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 blah. When that gets set as a standard for people, that's fucking insane. When these booty models on Instagram, when they like show themselves at super lean body fats all the time, plus they work out hard and they're always showing their body off and all like that, that's really, really real. And they put filters on that shit and fucking, they touch it all up and everything like that. That's such an unrealistic standard where I can totally see where the fat acceptance movement came from. My issue, and I'm all like, it's weird. I say this all the time. I'm for fat acceptance. Like, I mean, I think somebody can be considered beautiful, pretty, everything like that. That is a matter of opinion. Yeah. It really, really is. Like, all that shit's a matter of opinion. Like, I mean, even bodybuilding's a matter of opinion. Like, I mean, you fucking starve yourself for fucking 6 months to get on stage, for a pageant and be judged by somebody's opinion. Fuck that shit. That's crazy. Yeah. At least with powerlifting, it's a finite thing. You either lift it or you fucking don't. But I can see where it came from. The problem is when they start saying it's healthy. Like, you should be seen as a beautiful person, everything like that, but you should make sure you're healthy. I mean, we as long as we live in a shared society. We owe society health. I mean, we really do. You know.
Yeah, that kind of mentality has been from the beginning, in the black and white days of movies when people were smoking, like, oh, I want to look like James Dean. I want to look. So everyone's trying to emulate. And that really started when social media began, kind of with like when it was only pictures, when you didn't know what people were doing, when it was just the visual. Now it's so much more integrated so we can have these conversations. But when Facebook and Instagram started, it was just the superficial. So people got ramped up just based on that aspect. But now we're having an actual dialogue now because they're moving everything towards full blown communication. And like, that's why we're having this conversation now. But I think that's where a lot of people get our content confused. Yeah. And I actually hesitate sometimes because I'm making videos. I'm like, man, I'm surprised people aren't up in arms about me, like yelling at these girls all the time, because it's just, it's the principle of the thing. It's exactly what you said about the healthy. It's not healthy. It has nothing to do with you're overweight, you're a terrible person. And that's what that's what that movement tries to accomplish. They try to make it about feelings, and it's not about feelings. It's about the effects of that type of compassion, which is very dangerous. And obviously we're seeing the effects of it. And that's why I get so upset, because everything that's been done to this point, obviously, and I'm sure you agree, obviously is not fucking working.
Oh,
it's not working at all. So it has to change.
It's gone the opposite direction. Like, society has failed people. Like, I mean, us allowing as a society the thought process that we should have cake for breakfast is a fucking problem. Like if you have pancakes, it's got cake in the name. If you have pancakes for breakfast regularly, you're setting yourself up for failure. Like, I mean, like, when people start off with a dessert drink for breakfast, like me and you are the coffee kings, I think, of the fucking planet, right?
Cheers.
I drink black coffee.
Me too.
Yeah. You know why? Because I don't want to make it into a fucking dessert. Like like when you pour a packet of sugar in there, you're pouring how many grams of sugar in there? Like, you should have 32 grams of sugar in a day. Like, the average person consumes like four to 8 times the amount of sugar in a day they should. You're setting yourself up for obesity. Like, sugar sets people up for obesity. I really believe it. Especially refined sugar sets you up for obesity. There's no fiber attached to it, anything like that. So it's not like you're eating fruit, because everybody's like, well, fruit has sugar in it too. Yes, but there's fucking
Jesus
fiber.
Christ. I know.
These fucking arguments. It's like, we'll get to that in a second. But when you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure. Like, if I'm going to have something sweet, I make sure to have it in the evening, because I am a very hormonal eater. Like, if I eat something sugary in the morning, I am going to be ravenously hungry all day. And from before, when I would eat to try to be as big and as strong as I could, like when I kept the extra weight on me, I was eating like 4,500 calories a day, like every day, period, and I would eat breakfast. That was one of the things. But I have a big fucking appetite. I'm from Pittsburgh. The portion sizes in America are ridiculous compared to what you actually need, compared to the rest of the world. They really are. If you ever traveled abroad, you realize, like, holy shit, we eat like twice the amount of food. In Pittsburgh, it's even worse. I really believe that. Like, some places in the country are even worse. Pittsburgh's portion sizes are insane, and we'll put French fries on anything. They put French fries on salads here. That's no shit. But if I eat something sugary first thing in the day, I'm fucking ravenously hungry.
Yeah.
Like all day long. So even if it's just a sugary drink, I just don't do it. But what's the first thing we feed kids? Like, starting like 30 years ago, what's the first thing we feed kids? Some sugary ass fucking cereal. The days of Cheerios, being an actual healthy food almost, because it was just like grain and oat and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's gone. Like, now it's all sugar all the time. Like, Fruity Pebbles is like Fruity Pebbles is a sugar bomb for a kid, and society's failed these people to a great degree. Like, we've set people up to have poor relationships with food. Nobody knows how to cook. I can go down the list of things that are issues. Like, when my wife and I talk to clients that have issues with food, most of them don't know how to cook. When they do, it's very rudimentary. It's the sugar content in their nutrition is just outrageous. It's just outrageous. Just to be honest, it's not normally the fat. It's not even really the fried food. It is the sugar.
Yeah. What do you? It's almost like a massive conspiracy, and I don't think it's even a theory because if you're a big food company and fast food's on the rise and prepared foods on the rise, and you take out home ec, you take out the ability for people to learn how to cook in school, and you just ignore like you take out gym class, you take out home ec. I mean, I don't know if this was planned, but it's obviously what happened. And you're feeding kids, you're pounding them with sugar, you're sitting them in a chair, you're teaching them bullshit. And it's this archaic system of training people to be workers, to go and like hammer a nail in a fucking peg in a assembly line. And people are miserable. They're stressed. There's the mental effects of food.
Yeah.
It's a whole massive just tsunami, and it keeps on growing.
Well, what you pointed out, like we don't teach people how to cook anymore. Like there's
No one
vending,
knows. No one knows.
nobody knows. There's vending machines in every high school. Like I mean, they can get candy bars in between classes.
Yep.
They only have gym class for like a 9-week period, whereas it used to be all year round, right? So physical activity is much lower. Physical activity, just as a normal child anymore, is much lower. Like I mean, like they don't go to each other's houses anymore. They talk virtually. You know, it's it's like we've reduced activity to nil. The knowledge on how to cook and like that is very it it's hard to get food like once the brain is wired to think that McDonald's tastes good, it's hard to make food at home that tastes the same way. And it almost blunts the sense of taste because you're used to having such highly sugared, such high fat, food that it causes the other foods to be bland, like the sodium the mixture of fat, sodium, and sugar together in these foods is really conducive to like hitting all the dopamine spots in the brain, right?
Oh, it's evil. It's pure evil. They they do it on purpose, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
oh my God. Yeah. It's totally engineered. It really
but I get pushback on all these things. Look, you're a business. You need to make money. You're trying to make money. They're not making billions of dollars by accident. And they don't see, if you look, it's on YouTube, it's on videos. They show people, gentlemen, ladies in fucking lab coats, actually with test tubes, figuring out what tastes like a nacho fucking pizza for a Dorito. They actually, and then they test it and they put people in a room and they have them try each one of these different chips and they have them give their response. Do they like it? Everything down to the packaging. Do they like a blue package? Do they like a yellow package?
Oh yeah.
And every time you go to a supermarket and you see where the food is placed, have you ever seen, when you ever go in and you see the manager walking through the supermarket with someone in a suit? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And you see someone like walking through and they're just kind of pointing to things and it looks like, oh, he's giving him a tour. They're talking about where to put the product and like how much.
Product placement.
Yeah, exactly. It's product placement. End caps are not by accident. Sales are not by accident. 2 for $5, buy one, get one free, or not by accident. High shelf, low shelf, middle shelf. It's all planned to the fucking detail. Nothing is placed anywhere by accident. Why do you think candy is eye level for children? You're going to bend down and pick up a Snickers bar from your toes? Get the fuck out of here. It's there for a 3-year-old to be like, mommy, I want mommy. And you can tell like what is at the bottom. It's not the gum. It's the freaking candy and like the bright colored things that the kids are going to attract. I saw ring pops at the bottom of the fucking rack. It's evil.
Then they put the kid on they'll put kids on medications now. They'll put kids on ADHD medications when instead of trying to take them off the sugar.
Yeah.
On ADHD,
well, they have attention deficit. I mean, 200 grams of sugar in the morning isn't going to give them attention deficit, is it?
I mean, and I've said it on video before, and I really mean this. If you're an adult and you put Mountain Dew in a sippy cup for your kid, fuck you.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I've seen it happen, dude. It's fucking crazy. It gets into the point where like the Madeline chick, she like when she was like the $33 billion. $33 billion is fucking nothing when you consider the fast food industry, the soda industry. There is no good soda. There's no good soda. There's no pop. Like I don't whatever region of the country you're from. There's no good soda. That's like a $200 billion a year industry. People drinking what people should drink? Water and like herbs mixed with water, like coffee or tea or stuff like that. That's what people should drink. And not tea and don't get me wrong, I love me some sweet tea from the South, but that is like a dessert. I mean, people need to start viewing sugar that way. Because I believe in. in moderation. I'll take some sweets later on the day when I can set myself up, but it's designed to get people fat because once people are obese, they are set up to be obese. They really do. Like people don't realize that like your body has a certain like the body's set point. Like I really think my set point from being big so many years, my body's set point's like 200 pounds, like 205 to 200 pounds.
Where do you at? Where do you at right now?
I'm about
About
205. I'm about 205, 210 right now.
205.
Yeah, yeah. And the reason being is like, dude, I was too. I mean, I have pictures of me like that I hadn't weighed myself where I was probably like 260.
Well,
like
when you were doing the videos,
yes, and I'm between 5'9" and 5'10". Fuck.
But when
you don't understand. There's like 12, 16-year-olds that just got so triggered when I said my height right now that like they're gonna hop on all 55,000 of their fucking accounts and be like, manlet midget, whatever.
fuck those people. But you posted videos. You went through a huge weight loss too, where I guess was that because you saw yourself in videos and you're like, holy shit, I didn't realize I was that. Because that's what I went through that. I went through a bulking period.
I didn't realize I was that big. Even on video, I didn't realize I was that big.
Yeah.
I did like when my wife was having trouble sleeping because I was snoring so loud.
It's real, man.
Once I realized I was starting to have sleep apnea, okay, I know fitness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that keeping that much weight on, and I hadn't done nearly as much research as I've done now about obesity. Just to be real, I knew about lifting. I knew about nutrition to get stronger and be more athletic. I mean, because dude, even when I was 260, I had like a 50-inch box jump. Like I'm very, like I was a state champion pole vaulter when I was younger. I did gymnastics. Like people don't, I know I don't look like that sort of person right now, but I've always been very gifted athletically.
You were a flyer, right? You were a flyer. You were the person. I'm just joking.
Oh.
Just to try to feel the cheerleader. I picture you at the top, like holding your leg.
No. Yeah, that would be me.
Top of the pyramid.
But it wasn't because of how I looked, because I don't. As long as my wife thinks I'm sexy, I don't give a fuck.
There you go.
Honestly, I don't give a shit. You know, I mean, I'm really one of those guys. You know, and I did not realize how much overweight I was either, even though I know the math and everything like that. But once I started having I started worrying about negative side effects of being obese, and longevity and stuff like that. Like I want to see grandkids and great grandkids and shit like that. Like
right.
My son's not biologically mine, but he couldn't be any more my son if he was. And it was like a gift that was given to me after I'd kind of given up on it. You know what I mean? Like I'd kind of given up on being a parent and all like that because I met my son when he was 5.5, and I was already in my mid-30s. I'd given up on being a parent, you know? And like all of a sudden, like now it's like, holy shit, like there's more to live for than just me, you know? And stuff like that. So it changed my outlook. Not to mention that, but like, you know, I have to be able to talk the talk, walk the walk type thing. And I actually went down last summer at this time. I weighed like 180. I was super, 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 super lean, like super lean, not Jeff Cavalier lean, but getting there. And I did not like how I looked. I did not like how I felt. I did not like how I performed. It was the first time that I felt weak. Like, I mean, my recovery was horrible. And it's because, you know, I was getting food fixated. You know, like all these things where it's like, these are all bad markers, you know, like there's nothing real positive about this. Like right here, like right about between 200 and 210, I feel strong, athletic, powerful. I feel satiated. I'm not food focused. You know, I mean, I think it's my body's set point, and I think everybody has a different one, you know?
Sure.
But when you're obese, you're set up to be obese. Like I'm talking morbidly obese. How I was 260, my frame is still very different. Like right now, you know, I wear like 30 to 32 pants and I wear a 50 regular jacket. You know, like I'm genetically just built pretty good. But when you're morbidly obese, dude, like, I mean, there's a certain amount to be morbidly obese, you're taking in a lot of sugar in some way. You know, rarely are people morbidly obese past the age of 30 and they're carnivores, only carnivore diet. Like, you know what I mean? Like because the saturated fat kills them eventually, right? But you're taking a lot of sugar. If you're 350 pounds, you're taking a lot of sugar. in a day. So you've got a lot of sugar. That means you got a lot of insulin. That's how insulin resistance builds up. That's how they become type 2 diabetic. But what people don't understand too is that the more insulin you produce, that insulin blocks the flow of leptin to your brain. Like it blocks the effect of leptin to your brain, right? And what a lot of people don't realize is leptin is the hormone that makes you not hungry. Like it tells you when you're full, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when it gets blocked, these people always feel full or always feel hungry. Like so that's how people end up eating. Like that's like when you eat when you eat carbs, you know, your body releases insulin, stops the flow of it stops the flow of leptin, or blocks the flow of leptin. So you're either not producing enough leptin or you're leptin deficient. You're going to feel hungry, so they're always hungry, and they just feed them more sugar, and then they get hungrier and hungrier. Like when that's how food addiction happens. It happens via sugar, and it happens via overindulgence and all like that. It's very, very bad. And the issue is we're starting people very young now with it, very, very young. You know.
I mean, that's obviously that's a massive problem. That's the physiological component of it. My viewpoint when I see people, I want to know your point on cheat meals, because I know a lot of people always ask about cheat meals and feeling like they deserve a cheat meal. And I think this is an important issue because, and that's one of the reasons why, because I know messages can get misconstrued on the internet. I know very well that what you say, people aren't going to read the caption always. They're going to see one thing and then make their whole assessment. I mean, I do that in my videos too. I mean, I see some stuff. It doesn't mean the person that I'm making a video about is a horrific person and they want everyone to die. And it's not that. But when you're sending a message, it has to be very congruent, and you have to understand your audience. So I'm very strict with my content in terms of like, you don't deserve a fucking cheat meal. Stop thinking that. And it doesn't, but then of course someone's going to say like, what, you never cheat? I'm like, that's not the point. The point is I know who's reading my shit. I know who's like absorbing the information. I'd rather people think that they should never fucking do that and understand, and then get deeper with the content and understand the context of it. So
the thing is, there's really no cheating. Like you can't cheat physics.
That's exactly.
You can't cheat energy balance. You know, like we were like, you didn't cheat, you pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, there's no cheating the system. You just changed your plan without actually realizing it. Like, well, I'm just gonna have a cheat meal. No, well, your body doesn't know it's a cheat meal. It doesn't say, oh, we're not gonna count these calories. You know, we actually, for our clients, we teach them the concept of rewarding themselves. So, okay, you're at your first 20-pound weight loss. What's the food that you've been missing? Okay, that food you've been missing, here's what we're going to do. Let's, for the day or two beforehand, let's back away on, let's, either skip the starches at your meals and eat extra vegetables instead, so you have the same volume, you still feel same satiation, everything like that. And then that way you're probably, you save up 100 to 200 calories per day for the 2 days before. That way you have 400 extra calories. You can have 400 extra calories for that meal, and you can have that thing that you've been missing. So now you have rewarded yourself, because not only have you stuck the plan for so long, but you've also done extra work to earn it, and you've rewarded yourself for it. So the rewards are earned. And that way the plan stays, neutral to your goals. Because there is no cheating it. Like, I mean, like if you cheat once a day, every day for a week, guess what? Those calories count. You're going to gain or lose the weight that's correlated to those calories. That's just reality. There's no cheating. I mean, it's the same thing as like, I say that all the time. The second you start thinking about that, you're actually off plan. Like the second you cheat, you're actually off plan. And for some people, they can eat, because I'm probably going to talk about intuitive eating too, but some people, they can eat intuitively. Like some people don't have ferocious appetites, and some people aren't food focused, and some people, like I know people that just eat like food like it's maintenance, like it's like mechanical, like it's fuel. Cavalier's that way, but those people can probably just be like, okay, I love vegetables. Like if you love vegetables, like chances are you're not going to have an issue with weight. Like if vegetables are your favorite thing to eat, like if you just absolutely love salad and zucchini and squash and shit like that, you're going to be pretty good. I mean, like like if you love lean meats and those things, you're going to be great. The second one, you start being like, I love pasta. Well, the problem with that is like you can have an 8-ounce potato that has 120, 140 calories in it, right?
Yep.
8 ounces of pasta has 400 calories. It's a processed food. So it depends on the person. Most people cannot just intuitively eat. That's just fucking ridiculous. Like, I mean, and it's absolutely a completely ridiculous concept to fix obesity, because they'll intuitively eat a pizza. Like when you listen to your food cues, they'll intuitively eat a gallon. I have one guy, and he was in my book. My book's getting re-released on Amazon soon, by the way. But one of the guys I talk about there, he would eat a family tub of Dairy Queen vanilla ice cream on the way home from work every day. He was addicted to it. So when he's addicted to it, if he would try to intuitively eat, he would intuitively eat a family-size tub of vanilla ice cream.
Jeez.
I mean, like you can't cheat biology and energy balance. You just can't cheat it. So my concept on cheat meals is that they don't really exist. It's just it's a lie we tell ourselves to make ourselves feel better.
I also don't like the concept of the demonization of diet. I'm kind of on this. I mean, let's kick for a long time that there is. I mean, a diet is good. It's not a bad thing. It's the same.
Everybody's on a diet.
Everyone. That's what you eat. Whatever it is, that's your
diet is what you eat.
That's your fucking diet. So the anti-diet culture is what? You're a breatharian now? If you're going to be an anti-diet, you're not eating food. So that's another problem in itself.
Right.
So
breatharians, geez, I can't even go in that. I can't even go in that fucking rabbit hole, dude.
Dude, I did, bro. I think I don't know if I want to make another video because it's crazy because they all look deformed, like their faces are all gaunt. I saw this video and it was this brother and sister, and they're sitting next to each other, and she goes, "Oh, here's my brother. He's a breatharian. Tell him a little bit about." And the guy, it took him like 10 minutes to say 3 sentences, and it looked like he was like nodding off the whole time because he was like dying on camera.
He's
actively dying. And he's like, "No, I haven't chewed food." And she's like, "How long have you not chewed food for?" And she looks over at him. He goes, "Oh, it's been like no chewing since." I'm like, fuck, no chewing? Why do you have teeth, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, speed it up and just go walk into oncoming traffic.
Yeah, that's sad. Like, I mean, that's a mental illness.
Big time.
That really is. Yeah, that's a mental illness that people should get help for. No shit. But I don't even go down that fucking rabbit hole. That's way too far for me. Like, it really is. Like, that's just way too far. I had a hard enough time with like the Amberlynn Reeds of the world and shit like that too. So
yeah, I never jumped into that one. I get a lot of messages about that, but I've seen you made so many videos. I'm like, whatever she's done, he's covered it, I'm sure.
She's like, apparently she's been doing this a long time. Yeah. But I first like got sent the video by one of her ex fans or something like that. And she had started a weight loss channel. She was like 360 pounds, started a weight loss channel, and she's now like 560. She's gained like 200 pounds trying to lose weight. And she is obviously, in my professional opinion, she is a food addict with a severe binge eating disorder also. I believe she has both emotional and restrictive binge eating, which means like she binges when she's emotionally distressed, which is often, and she binges when she feels restricted in any way. So when she saw the video I made on her, because I'll do a video called "To the Family and Friends." If you see a video with me that says "To the Family and Friends," it is a very serious video. It is not about me trying to knock on anybody. It is about me saying, let's be real. As a society, this person needs serious help. Let's go with it, right? And she saw the video and she actually reached out to me. And saying like, what do you suggest and like that? And she was like, "Can you help me?" And I was like, "The only thing I can help you with is suggesting inpatient care." At the very least, she needs somebody to be in her household with her every day, monitoring her intake, because she cannot. I don't believe she has the tools to monitor herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, not with like, she makes probably. I mean, she gets close. She gets like 80,000 views or 50 or 60,000. She probably makes $6,000 to $10,000 on YouTube a month. Because all her videos are 10-minute videos. She gets good views, and they're all monetized, which I find that's a different subject that I'd like to touch on. But
I don't know what
So
monetized is.
I can't imagine yours are. But and I swear a lot, but I can't imagine yours are. But
uh,
your intro is what kills it. You know that, right?
you'd be shocked at how many videos actually are monetized. I'm like,
Oh
how?
no, I trust me. I don't
I
know. I don't
appeal
know.
all of them. I appeal all of them, and I'm like,
Yeah,
and
and
they
I don't
never.
understand some of them. Some of mine that don't like that they say art can't be monetized. I'm like, that was pretty fucking tame
Yeah.
compared to this one where I said fuck 150,000 times and called this dude a bitch like 10 times. You know, that one's fully monetized with like, you know, with non-skippable ads and shit like that. And this one where I'm like, let's be real, let's have a real conversation about this, and it gets like flagged immediately. I'm like, how the fuck does that happen? Um, you know, I mean, it's just a
Uh,
very strange thing. Uh, but what was I talking about? Oh, Amberlyn Reed, and
yeah.
you know, she needs help because she needs inpatient care, and she immediately stopped talking to me as soon as I said she needs inpatient care. Because some people you can't help, like you can't help virtually, you can't even help in person. Like she needs to be locked in a room, like given food she's allowed to eat and forced to do exercise to save her life. She's going to, yeah, unfortunately, I believe she's going to not live another couple years. Like if she gains another 40 pounds, she's going to reach a state of immobility that will cause her more depression, which more binge eating. She's surrounded herself with enablers who she supports financially, so they're not going to say no to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It is like this death storm, which is, you know, I wonder how YouTube allows some of this stuff. Not only allows it, but allows it to be monetized. This person is actively, and it's because it's not viewed this way, but this person is actively committing suicide via food on a daily basis. Like same thing with like the obese people that do the mukbangs. That's disgusting. Like
Oh, jeez.
they're not disgusting people, and the act that they're not doing is like people are profiting upon this person's self harm.
Yep.
You know, because that's what it is. It's self harm. It is absolutely self harm. Like and I was going to do a video about him, but I didn't think it was going to be like intelligent to do a video about him because like what can I say about him? A guy named Badlands Chugs. Has anybody ever sent you his shit?
Bro, I actually, he's one of the few people, like, you click on one video and then YouTube just thinks you want to see every video. This guy is probably, for those that don't know, he's, what would you say, 500 pounds easy?
Yeah, somewhere.
Like 450, 500, and he does these chugging competitions with himself. He'll be in his car and he'll go and he'll order like a big Dunkin' Donuts with cream on top and chug it in like 12 seconds.
Yeah.
And I mean,
those aren't even the ones that are crazy.
he
Like,
honestly,
I mean, like,
he honestly seems like seems like a nice guy. He's just
he's
chill,
like a super nice guy.
like I actually watch him because there's something mesmerizing about it. And
Yeah.
people are in the comments like, I don't know why I watch these, but I can't stop. Like his intro's funny. I mean, he's like, you know, hungry and focused since 1997.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But
He seems like a super nice guy, and he's killing himself.
but he's banking, and that's the problem. He's making tons of money off this. So there's no reason for him to stop.
He did one challenge where it was like I did because I was going to do a video. I really was, and I did the calculations. It was like 400 grams of sugar in under 2 minutes.
Jesus
I'm like,
Christ!
Jesus, I mean that like
Your pancreas still works?
well, I was thinking like a person that doesn't have some sort of resistance to that. That would try to replicate that. Think about the spike to their blood sugar level. I mean, I was thinking like a smaller person, like a 150, 200 pound person that would do that. It could hospitalize them.
You black out or something.
Yeah, I mean, it could hospitalize them for real. And I was just thinking like that is fucking crazy. He did one meal. He calls it it's like the Notorious B.I.G. meal, where it was like this big ribeye steak. He said it was a T-bone, but there was no bone. So if you are watching this Badlands Chugs, that was a ribeye, not a T-bone. But that like egg, like 6 eggs with cheese on it, and a 64-ounce Welch's grape juice that he chugged.
Fuck.
Just so people understand, one of the worst things you can do is drink juice.
Yep.
I mean, it's really not healthy for you. Fruit, good. Juice,
Made with real fruit though. Made with 100% real juice. It's like no shit. It's grape juice. What do you think it's in?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
They add sugar to it. Like the 64 ounces of grape juice had like something ridiculous, like 340 grams of sugar in it, and it was so highly caloric. It was fucking insane. Like the whole plate. The whole meal was like 3,800 calories that he ate in like 3 minutes. And I'm just like, how like I appreciate the fact that people get paid to do stupid shit. I just don't know how YouTube monetizes that. And I understand because they're advertising food product, and a lot of the people that
Oh,
pay YouTube for advertising, like that's my only issue with YouTube is that they act like they're all for they're trying to keep their content safe, good, wholesome, like for their advertisers and shit like that.
right.
That's as long as the advertisers are safe, good, and wholesome. Because there's no, like fast food, while some people like it may be delicious for people, is not wholesome or good for you. You know, like it's just absolutely not. And but they just pay big money. You know, same with the soda industry stuff like that. So those things like YouTube can shut the whole fuck up on that because like that I just don't find that to be true.
Yeah.
Like people, you hear a lot of people talk about how YouTube is run by left wing people, blah blah blah. Because I don't get, I'm a very I'm a very independent voter, so I don't get involved on that shit. But
I don't buy that.
I don't buy that either. They're money.
Money.
They're money.
They want to get paid. They don't give a shit. And I saw that guy, the Badlands Chugs guy. I saw him eat. It was like 5 Big Mac meals. It was like 5 Big Mac meals.
5 Big Mac meals.
It was like 4 or 5 Big
meals.
No, like fries. I think I don't know if it was 1 drink or 5 drinks, but it was like literally 5 burgers, 4 or 5 burgers, the fries. I think it was like the super. It was something gross. I mean, if anyone's interested, you can go and if you want to throw up. But it was something. It was a whole thing. I don't know if it was all the drinks, but because I didn't watch the whole thing, I can't sit there and watch that shit. I just look at him and he's. It's like watching it's watching a snuff film. Like it's brutal.
It really is equivalent to that. I mean that, and I get this all the time. Like especially because like I think my older crowd misses me doing rants all the time or misses me doing the roast videos all the time.
Yeah.
And I still like doing the comedy and stuff like that. I really do. But in reality, like I get so many people like, okay, we get it. Okay, being obese is bad. No, do you? when 70% of the population is overweight, do you? When 40% of the population is obese, do you? Like when it's me, you, like James from Shredded Sports Science has made a few videos. A few other people have made some videos about obesity and the negative connotation of it. When it is just a very few people of the smaller channels have made videos about it. Should we be quiet about it? It's not like everybody else is making videos about it. Like the problem is people don't, like a lot of people don't want to hear it. Like that's the thing. They don't want to hear it because they see themselves in it. That's where any argument that I get into online with a fat acceptance person or something like that, they cannot refute what I say because what I say is fact. And it does not matter who says what I say. It is just fact. It does not matter if I swear. It doesn't matter if I don't swear. It's just fact. And the issue that we run into is that people don't want to hear that. They don't. Like the article I fucking shared last night from the Science America place. What the fuck? I mean, like this person actually on the blog section of Science America actually said, it is not obesity that causes type 2 diabetes. It is like the stigma, obesity stigma.
No, what was it? It was the.
Hang on, I'll pull it up.
No, I responded with the comment with the word. I forget what the heck it was. Well, facts are scary, Alan. You know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they're horribly scary, but what the fuck?
But
I mean, like,
guess what? They should be fucking scary when it's $350 billion. And what people don't realize, that's not an accurate number. It could be more. How you know what?
Oh, those numbers. By the way, those numbers are like 6 years old.
Yeah, and numbers don't scare people until the economy collapses because of it, and everyone loses their job, and then oh shit, healthcare, and they're going to be up in arms and talking about it at the water cooler. It's like you didn't give a shit when you were watching binge eating videos on YouTube, and
I hear that all
coming.
the time with
it's
people,
coming.
People like, what right do you have to tell somebody that they should get healthy? Well, first of all, and I will say this: when the angry, bald, sweary guy cares more about other people's health than you do, evaluate. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing: as long as my family, like, I could just be like, as long as my family's good, and as long as my wife is healthy, as long as my son's healthy, as long as my parents are healthy, I could not give a fuck about nobody. But I actually have empathy. So since I have empathy, I can see somebody, eating themselves to death and say that's not a good fucking thing. I mean, that's the issue that I run into. Like, I mean, or they argue that portion to a fucking great degree, but.
It's also because that it can be changed, and you've seen people change. So when you see people pretending like they can't, or that's just the way it is, and otherwise, it's that much more frustrating. It's not like it's a lost cause.
Like people are like, I normally feel for all the fat acceptance advocates, I normally feel bad for most of them. I really do, because for the most part, they're just trying to feel better about themselves. Like they don't want people to make them feel. And if you're one of those people out there that calls an obese person a whale, or says something on purpose to insult them, to make them feel bad about themselves, first of all, you're an asshole. I mean, just in reality, you're a fucking asshole. Secondly, they already feel bad about themselves, dude. Like, I mean, they really, really do. And third, if that's is your needed target, if you need to make somebody that already feels bad about themselves feel bad about themselves to make yourself feel better about yourself, you are really a dimwit. Like, I mean, like
That's bullying. That's actual bullying, though. It's
bullying.
the definition.
It is totally bullying. It is total bullying. When I say to somebody, look, you're obese and you're shortening your life, that is not bullying. You know, when I say to somebody, like, you really should get healthy for your children, that is not bullying. That is sound professional advice. You know, when somebody just tries to make a person feel bad to make themselves feel better, that's absolutely bullying, and it's weak ass bullying too. Like, I'm the first one to say that I can be a complete fucking savage with people and put them in their place and make them feel bad about themselves. And I always try to do it, even though I used a lot of swear words, I always try to do it in the most intelligent, intellectual way possible, because that to me is actual trolling. When you just insult somebody's appearance, that's weak. Because appearance means very fucking little to me. It just does. You know. Now, when you get to people like Tess Holliday, who make money from this, you know what I mean? Like, she makes money telling people what they want to hear, you know. No, and I believe that she wants to hear it, but I'm sure she knows she wants to hear. Like, if you look at Tess, if you look at the patterns of her, like, Instagram and stuff like that, whenever she starts taking a lot of heat, she'll, like, come out, like, be like, you know, I'm all for gay rights. Like, nobody even asked you, but you know, but
she missed her misdirection.
Yeah, you were taking a lot of heat about this subject a couple seconds ago, and then all of a sudden you like try to garner support, you know. And I'm all for gay rights too. I'm all for human rights. Like, love who you want to love, do what you want to do. I'm very much that way. I'm also very much for the human right of a life, meaning, like, let's not lie to people and tell them they're going to be healthy at 400 fucking pounds. You know, I say this all the time, and if there's anybody listening to here, because we're going to get a certain amount of people that are just going to listen just to be pissed at us, but
good.
I will gladly, live on camera, interview any 400-pound to 500-pound person, or 450-pound person and up. I will gladly interview you if you think you can tell me that you're healthy, that you are healthy at any size. I will gladly interview you live on camera, person to person. And I have no qualms about doing it. I do want to preface this, and it's going to be on the 3rd story of a building that doesn't have an elevator. And I'll be waiting with my camera running for you to walk through the door.
I'll be on the top of the Burj Khalifa. You can find.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you don't have mobility, if you can't walk around.
Well, let's talk about that. Not to interrupt you, but we talk about the health and, okay, diabetes. I don't see the conversation about fucking moving. You mention it, but I don't think people, it's all about, right, are you calling someone a whale? You're bullying. You're just making fun. Everyone deserves rights, and they try to make it about trans rights and gay rights. No. This is about, have you seen someone obese? Some people can't drive a fucking car because they can't fit into a passenger seat, let alone get on a plane
You can't use that argument because they'll say that the seats are too small.
Of course. Well,
just to be real.
The planes aren't big enough. They need a fucking cargo plane, and but that's a huge issue. If you don't have mobility, even if you don't have diabetes, you need someone to walk you, to go shopping for you. You're lucky Amazon exists, but that's just facilitating people being lazy and obese.
Well, mobility is something that, like, I would consider my wife like a mobility specialist.
Yep.
I really would, and that's something we talk about all the time. Like, it's amazing to me that this you just opened like a huge can, because most people in our industry don't understand it either. Just to be real, most people in our industry do not understand mobility in reference to actually getting somebody in shape. And as just as a note to a lot of, like, personal trainers out there and everything like that, if you don't know anything about training obese people, you should start, because you're going to very limit yourself in the coming years. I mean, and that's true. Like, and I will, and this is no shade, if I in a gym and I see somebody like having a morbidly obese person run on the treadmill,
Oh God.
trust me on this. If you're a trainer, if you're that person's trainer and you're having them run on a treadmill and they're morbidly obese, I will walk up to them and tell them you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I will I will interject myself into your training session and say this person is hurting you, because that is fucking stupid. It is fucking stupid. Nothing is worse for a morbidly obese person than to catch an injury. Absolutely nothing, because it takes forever to heal due to their hormone levels. They're the most if they're especially if they're diabetic. It's fucking crazy.
Yep.
I mean, their healing process is much slower. Their recovery process, even for muscle soreness, is much slower, much more compromised. Training a morbidly obese person has to be slow and steady. You manage their nutrition, and activity is very secondary. My wife does a great thing. Well, my wife has you're a big yogi too, but my wife, when we get together down in Florida, you guys, we can all do yoga
For sure.
stuff like that. But my wife teaches some chair yoga classes where the person is actually seated in a chair and does yoga in the chair. Because what people don't understand, for a 350, 400 pound person, it's just about movement. I mean, shit, like stand more, but impact for a fucking obese person, their joints are already screaming. I mean, when you take a step, like when a person walks and they take a step forward, what people understand is it's not just like the weight of the person that comes down, right? Because inertia forces, is pulling them down. So it's anywhere from 4 to 10 times the person's weight on that step, right? So on that load-bearing joint, it is just crushing. So the more weight, like if you're 100 pounds overweight, you're not applying 100 pounds more force on your joint when you step than it's designed to take. You're applying 400 to 1,000 pounds more on that joint every step you take. And that's why people get osteoarthritis and stuff like that, because it wears away the joint, right? And, cartilage degeneration and stuff like that. So our coaches and trainers know nothing about how to do this. Everybody's geared around how to get bigger biceps or six-pack abs. Most of these people are so far away from six-pack abs. Like, how much coaching do you do in person?
I don't do in-person coaching anymore.
Right.
I've done. I mean, how many freaking hours?
For years. I was just wondering if you still did it, but if you do it, because I still did some up until about a year ago, right? Nobody, you're not training people to get fucking super healthy. You're not training. They don't come to you. Most people don't come to you and be like, I really need to get healthy. The majority of people that hire a coach or a trainer are over fucking weight and need to get healthy. They're years away from a six pack.
Yep.
Years away from a six pack. The goal is to get them out of the pre-diabetic range, and most, I really think that even NASM and stuff like that needs to revamp. Although NASM does a pretty good job of talking about obesity and stuff like that. They really do.
Because I taught their certification for years. I taught trainers and I prepared them for the exams, and I have their accessory certifications, and I held their certification. I also had the CSCS, but one of the issues with that is it's not the information's not applicable in real life. So right. That's why I didn't maintain that certification. It's not applicable to anyone unless you are like a D1 college coach or
right.
Jeff Cavalier trains athletes. But even the NASM material, what really bothered me about the actual certification is that it's not ironically enough, it's not functional or applicable in real life. No one is going to do phase 1 for 6 weeks or 8 weeks. People are going to leave. They're going to leave so fast because they're going to be bored. And most people are going to memorize that, pass the exam, but not know how to apply that or the context. And
the LPT model is not well thought out.
No, I mean, it's okay. When you on paper, it looks great.
Yeah, on paper, it's beautiful.
The principle, but I mean, that's not going to keep people engaged enough or excited enough.
And that's if you're watching, I still want to keep my certification.
Yeah, right. Well, and I still have the other ones that don't expire. But aside from that, it's that's where these certifications have a huge void. It's the application and the education. And that's, again, it's like a little biopsy of the education system. It's about memorizing, multiple choice, answering the questions, give us money every year so you can keep these letters. But we're not going to really show you how to fucking actually implement this so you can maintain clients, because it doesn't matter if you know how to sell someone or you have a client for a month, they're not getting results in a month. Are you going to keep them and educate them and allow them to learn on their own so they can do this for years? Because that's what it takes. So it's like, there's a huge disconnect.
So you're telling me I can't lose 50 pounds of fat in a month?
I mean, 6-pack shortcuts, I mean, they really helped me,
bunch of fucking charlatans, man.
But all those channels like DeLauer and that, so there's a couple different, I guess, realms of fitness. You have the overcomplication, so it makes it seem like you know what you're talking about. I mean, this guy reads any fucking study, any big word, makes the same video every day about keto or fasting.
DeLauer?
And this. Yeah, it's like, we fucking get it, man. But you think
what's amazing is that motherfucker has claimed to be like he's a foremost
keto expert,
expert
or
on so many things.
No, an intermittent fasting or fasting expert or something like that.
He's been the foremost expert on intermittent fasting, the foremost expert on keto, he just like I don't know about you, but I consider myself a fitness professional. Many other people do, and I was not involved. I didn't get the memo. Not only did I not get the memo, but I was not involved in the voting process. It's just like I'm the foremost expert on baldness.
I almost don't want to be called a fitness expert anymore because it puts me in the same category as these fuck nuggets.
I've said that before, where it's like sometimes it's painful because what happens is they see people like DeLauer and they see people like V-Shreds and they see people like that, and first of all, these guys are younger and better looking than me. And they're leaner than me, so they must know more than me. Meanwhile, athletically, I would argue DeLauer is actually a pretty good athlete, but athletically, V-Shreds could not keep up with me. And I will say this very clearly: at anything, and I'm about 20 years older than him. At anything, my endurance, I'm sure, is better. I'm much stronger. My mobility is much better. My agility is much better. My explosiveness, like any fucking lift, pound for pound, and you fucking name it, he could not fucking keep up with me. And not that is important in any way, but that is actually a statement. And I'm not something incredible. That is just a statement of how fucking piss poor his actual training is. I think that they kind of like his handlers tell him what to eat, and they fucking slap his wrist if he fucking doesn't, and he's just a pawn.
Dude, he couldn't keep up with Dora the Explorer, bro.
Oh, it's so bad.
Fucking follow the yellow brick road. I mean, you get all these guys, and again, it's the superficial, but I think, I don't know, as much as things are separating and it's getting more and more dire, I feel like the reason why your channel and my channel gets, because it shocks me every time, to be completely honest, when I post a video, I'm like, wow, I expect every time people are going to fucking rail me on this one, or this is going to get, and I think that's just because of like the self-mirror bubble, like in terms of you only see what you want to follow, and the algorithm's very good at showing people that want to see that. So that's why you get like 10 dislikes and 2,000 likes on a video where you're slamming things that are really sensitive issues, which is that gives me hope. That gives me hope that, there are people out there that are really, as much as people want all this acceptance, as much as people think that that's where it's going, I don't think so. I think this is like the peak before the crash. Like there's no substance. It's like the earth in Florida. It's all a sponge. Like it's going to collapse.
Like the girls from the show Family by the Ton. They're Amanda and Amy. Crystal and I went and met them in Atlanta.
Oh, I saw that. I saw those posts.
When we were down there from Influential, we sat and had a couple hour-long conversation. We still talk to them online all the time, right? And Amanda started the process for the show when she was like 700 and some pounds, right? Immobile. She, like, what people don't understand, like she runs like 3 corporations from her house. Like, she's actually a very intelligent woman. When it comes to everything else in her life, she is a fucking rock star. You know what I mean? Like successful online businesses she runs, right? But she's always had a bad relationship with food. Like right now, we just talked to her the other day. Right now, she just got home from the hospital. She had some complications from having, she had to have some calcified fat on her hanging belly taken off, like, and her curtain got removed. And what people that may not understand, when you get very, 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 very obese, your belly starts to actually hang over, and then when you lose weight, it's called a curtain because it's flattened out and they can remove it, right? But she had like 80, close to 80 some pounds removed from her midsection, and it, like, she doesn't have a belly button anymore, stuff like that, right? But she had complications from that, so she was in the hospital for a while, everything, right? And so she's been through some pain, suffering. She has had there's people and other people don't understand with bariatric surgery. There's normally like a 2-step process. There is the gastric sleeve, in which case they take your stomach looks like this, right? And the tube comes up here and then it goes down. What they do is they sleeve it, where they make it look like that, right? So they remove this belly portion of it, okay? So she's had the gastric sleeve, and then like a year later, she has what's called a duodenal, or not, I forget what the actual thing is, but it's a switch where they reroute part of the intestines too, right? So it's even another portion of managing the calories down, right? So she's had some serious health issues from this. She doesn't regret it a fucking day. Like she's like I'd be dead by now. Like she's like, at least this is, like I see most people that are morbidly obese. Most people know it. Like they know they need to do something about it. They know. So the fat acceptance portion of it, this people do, like, I mean, it tricks them for a while, but they can't lie to themselves long. They just can't. Like my channel, like, and this is one of the things that like kind of gives us hope, because I don't like making this content, dude. I'm just gonna be honest. I really don't. I don't like that I have to. This is not where I thought it would go. You know what I mean? Like I thought I'd make programs, and I thought I would do speakings, write books, be funny, like stuff like that. Because this content can be rather dark, and kind of pulls at you,
Yeah.
And the work I do is very, very, very rewarding, but it can also be like really let you in to see how hard some people's lives can be when they allow their health to dissipate, So I don't really love it, but what I do see is like people really, really, really need it, because I get emails all the time. Like my wife and I get like messages and emails like, "Hey, you've changed my life. I've lost 100 pounds. Hey, you've done this. I've lost 100. I've lost 70 pounds. Hey, I hadn't played with my kid in 6 months because I couldn't get up on. I couldn't have enough energy to get out, and now I do." Shit like that, where I really see. I see the fat acceptance movement being very popular. It's an extremely popular thing to say everybody should be accepted, and I would like anybody as a takeaway from this to know, I agree. We should accept everybody for who they are. It doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter. I don't like, and I know this might be controversial. I don't give a shit what gender you fucking identify as. I don't care about that. That does not affect me. You still are a person. You still deserve to be happy. Whatever makes you happy, as long as you are not negatively, as long as you are not hurting somebody else, you deserve to be happy. I really believe that. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what car you drive. I'm a big. I'm not a. I'm not. No, I'm not an aesthetics person, but I am not a material person at all. I believe in experiences. My wife and I don't buy things. We go on trips.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't give a fuck about any of that. I really don't. Everybody should be. Everybody is a person and deserves life. But the truth does matter. If you are sick, you're sick. Like, don't lie to yourself, because you deserve. As I believe you deserve respect as a person, respect is not being lied to or lying to yourself. Because the worst lie anybody can tell is one to themselves. That's the worst one they can tell. Everybody deserves that. Like, I mean, I had somebody the other day, and I posted. I love having like quick snapbacks of people and taking a screenshot and posting them as my content. And I had somebody say, "Nobody owes you health." Huh? They owe it to themselves. I mean, like, it's this thing. Like, they owe it to themselves. They owe you. Everybody owes health to themselves. I really believe that. Like, I will argue that as long as we have shared healthcare costs, as we were talking about earlier, that you kind of do owe it to me. But because it's going to get, like, my wife and I don't access healthcare. Like, I mean, we're healthy.
Yep.
Like, I don't. I'm not on diabetes medication. Like, have you ever like investigated how much money monthly diabetes medication costs a person, even after insurance?
I've had people say that it's like 600. I mean, I'm just throwing out a number there, but it was like 600 a shot or 600 like for a week. One of our members, he actually got off his medication from one of the members inside Swolenormous X, and always talks about it, like, fixed his back, off his medication, A1C, like everything's normalized, and it was some exorbitant number. I'm not going to pretend. I'm sure you're gonna drop some numbers yourself,
Well,
maybe,
no,
but
it depends on where you're at in the country. But
right.
it could be like $400 to $800 a month for diabetes medications, and
That's probably where the 600 came into my brain from. Yeah,
and supplies and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, like I mean, and that's after insurance, after. But if the person
bankrupts people.
Well, it bankrupts people, but if they're low income, they get a subsidy too that is taken care of, like that like everybody participates in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is an unsustainable thing. We are going to spend $1 trillion fucking dollars in healthcare costs within the next couple of years, a year, on diabetes, on, for the most part, something that is completely avoidable. Now, there's a few cases where somebody develops a disease or something like that that affects their body's ability to make insulin. Like, some people are born where they don't make enough insulin. That's type 1 diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between not making enough insulin and being type 1 and being insulin resistant, which is something you do to your fucking self.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you eat poorly to the point where you make it so a bodily function, if you eat poorly, if your nutrition is poor enough where a bodily function stops, change your behaviors. Like, it's the same thing with the amenorrhea, when women lose their period from being too low of body fat, right? Stop that shit. That's not healthy. Like, I mean, your body quit a biological, your body became either resistant or quit a biological function that it's supposed to fucking do. Like, that's very, very bad.
Mm-hmm.
And we as a society, I don't love making this content. I really don't. I get very burnt out on it, but I view it as such a necessity. And it's sad, but like every fucking day, like I'm sat down, I get sent something where it just makes me shake my motherfucking head, dude. Like the prevalence of trying to make everybody feel so good about themselves when in reality everybody's really sick is kind of like the sign of our times, like how dumb we are. Like, we live in a world where the wealth of world of knowledge is in the palm of everybody's hand. Anybody can Google any fucking thing. We're just choosing not to believe in facts. Crazy.
I mean, that being the case, which is absolutely the case, that and I say this all the time. I always hold up my phone in the podcast. I'm like, fucking Google it. You want a recipe? Everyone always like, but I'm bored with the food I eat. Google literally has 1 billion recipes. You just have to type in literally the ingredients and it will give you 100 million responses.
Right.
But there's also that paralyzation of having, quote, too much information. I don't know who to trust. I don't know where to go.
Well, that's the fitness industry's problem.
Well, there seems to be so many different aspects, and I didn't realize it until I started getting into making so much content that there were so many different factions of the fitness industry. There's as many factions of the fitness industry as there is in just society, period. You have people that go to the conventions and the conferences and and then just go around and walk around all the supplement tables and just peddle their wares and are just full of shit. And then you have the whole fake natty bullshit, which is just a veneer that doesn't matter at all. Just the stupid shit.
How many people got hashtag natty? Just on a different note.
I was going to mention that. I was going to mention what happened with that? Where'd that go? How's that working out? I didn't make a video, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait to see how this plays out. And I was thinking, like, yesterday, I'm like, maybe I should make a video. Hey, bro, how's that whole? Maybe I will. If I get enough comments, drop some comments right now. If you want me to make a video, be like 3 second long, like, where's the natty? What's it going?
Here's my suggestion, everybody. Don't fucking worry about it.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, like most people, like if you're 100 pounds overweight, the last thing you should put in your mouth is a fucking pre-workout anyway. I mean, like, for real. Like, I mean, you're 100 pounds overweight. A huge caffeine bomb and a huge thing of B12. Like, it's consistency. Your body needs some consistency, But yeah, you were talking about factions. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it was. I mean, it's just literally that's what it was. Well, I mean, there's a lot of information. There's a lot of good fucking information. You can't tell the difference between someone who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. I mean, you don't have to be a fitness. Maybe you do. I don't understand why it's so. Why why there's such a massive followings. Massive followings.
Quick example of something that just recently happened, and I want to hear it because, dude, it's not calories in, calories out. It's all about your hormones.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. It is about your hormones. I stand corrected.
That's the dumbest shit ever. Like, you know, and that lady, her name's Shelly Darlington. What's up, Shelly? How you doing?
Oh, that's I didn't know that was her. I don't know who she is, but someone messaged me about her. Like, do something on Shelly Darlington. I'm like, I don't know who that.
She recently, I made a video about her. I think it's my last video that's posted is about her.
Is she obese?
No. She's an Instagram model. You know, who's playing fitness professional, in my opinion, of course. And she responded last night about how she doesn't believe in negativity. She actually has a video not too long ago talking about the problem with the fitness industry and rails against the entire fitness industry, but she keeps it positive, right? Here's my thing: if you're gonna say shit, say shit. But her big thing is that it's not calories in, calories out. It's about your hormones. Fat loss is about your hormones. It's not calories in, calories out.
What does she think controls that? What does she think determines?
What the fuck does she think controls calories in, calories out? Like, I'm sorry if I like, and then like, oh well, he doesn't like. If I'm speaking over your head, just because I swear, don't assume I'm dumb. You know, if I'm speaking over your head, that's fine. But when you say stupid shit like that, it's not calories in, calories out. She said calories in, calories out is an outdated method.
Really?
Yes. That's like saying gravity's outdated.
But physics, Alan.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Like,
but science.
So she's pretty and has a good body and blah blah blah, and she comes across sweet and funny and quirky. So people are gonna be like, oh, so it is about my hormones. Your hormones control calories out, you dumb fucks. It's so mind-numbing. It really is. Like, it's so mind-numbing that like you're selling your book. Like, she's trying to get people not to believe in calories in, calories out, to sound intelligent. Saying that as a fitness professional is, one, disqualifying to me as a fitness professional, but two, it seriously does make it so you are really could be hurting people, because now people are like, oh, I don't need to worry about my calories. I'll just eat this food to fix my hormones. And if your hormones can be fucking perfect, if you're eating more calories than you're burning, you're gonna fucking gain fat. Like, I mean, like, it's just how that shit fucking works. It's fucking biology. And when people say stupid, like, people, the fountain of misinformation is crazy. Have you ever noticed how, like, all these people are experts on everything? Like, here's the thing: you will not catch me ever doing a bench press tutorial, ever. You know why? My bench press sucks. Like, I mean, like, it really does. Like, at one point in time, I was military pressing close to my bench press. You know, like, it's, I mean, I can still use the 110, 120 pound dumbbells and get some reps overhead military press. You know what I mean? I probably can't do that. Fucking flat bench 120s are going to fucking really be hard for me. You know, like, that's just how I am, you know? My bench press sucks. It sucks. I won't make a fucking video on it. Like, people are always, people are after me all the time. Well, why don't you do some tutorial videos? If I do a tutorial video, I'm gonna be like, here's a tutorial video, and I'm gonna fucking play something like by Cavalier or fucking Usoff or somebody like that. I'm just gonna fucking recopy their video, because why? If I'm not an expert at it, why would I fucking talk about it? You know what I mean? Like,
that's because everyone does, man. Everyone talks outside their fucking lane, but that's where like that when they go fringe, when people go outside, most creators don't realize that people pick up on that shit. People pick up on that shit. It's like you smell, you can sense when someone's lying. You can smell fear. You can sense when someone's not all there, even if you can't put your finger on it. But it's being exposed. The fact that now there's so many platforms, there's so many ways you can post. Before, you can over edit a picture, you can edit a video so it looks perfect. But now when people are on Instagram stories and they hear them actually talk, people are tripping over themselves because everyone's realizing, oh, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah. And people like you and me are calling them out on their bullshit.
Yes, her Instagram story She was like, I was sent this 100 times. This, this channel. I'm not going to name this channel because because it doesn't even need addressed. Blah 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 blah. I stated facts about this woman. One, two. She's mad because like the person's like, she's mad because I called her a booty model. You know what? I mean, when you have dozens of pictures on your Instagram that are ass first, it's not even an insult. It's true. And like, I just got to tell you, like, if your most popular video, one of your most popular videos is about how to train your underbutt.
Where's that muscle at?
And it, like,
you mean the hamstring?
The problem with she has a video. The problem with the fitness industry, and she rails on it. And the whole fucking, it's fat loss is about your hormones. That's disqualifying. Like, it really is. Like, and it makes all of us, like, when you're trying to make everybody question everything about the fitness industry. Like, if you find yourself watching somebody that says calories in, calories out don't work, I'd love to hear, like, I understand where some people say tracking your calories doesn't work because of the innate nature of how the trackers work, because they're just guesstimates, like they're true guesstimates. However, if you are a morbidly obese person, if you are 350 pounds and you should first track your food, because you can start learning about food. It actually teaches you, because then you can see what it's in it, But two, if you're 350 pounds, chances are that you're eating about 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day. If you start tracking and the variance on that tracker is not going to be thousands of calories. It's going to be 100, 200 calories. So if you place your target at 2,000 calories, if you're a 350-pound person and you place it at 2,000 calories, you're going to lose fucking weight as long as you stick to it. Like, the concept of calories in, calories out, even tracking wise, works. But yet alone to say it's not calories in, calories out, it's your hormones. That statement, that phrase right there, is untrue.
Yeah.
And idiotic, because hormones do make up a portion of the calories out equation. It's just fucking, it's so mind-numbing to me that these people get to say this shit, and people are like, oh yeah, I knew it wasn't calories in, calories out.
Well, there's so many people that they go that, I mean, that's just complete off, batshit, just incorrect. But there's a lot of people that have massive followings that you and I both recognize that, all right, they make good content. They know what they're talking about. But I feel like their message is being blasted to a lot of people, and they're always doing things like with pizza emojis, like, it's okay to have pizza. It's okay to have that. You're fine. Like, you can have that meal. Like, don't restrict yourself. Just get back on it. And I know what they're saying. And that's kind of like a blanket, almost like acceptance. They still believe in calories in, calories out. But I feel like they're still missing the message. They're being too lax about it. They're being too, they're not addressing the fact that when you're eating things like pizza and calorically dense food, there are addictive properties that are not the same for fucking broccoli. I've never had a broccoli craving. I enjoy broccoli, but I don't crave broccoli. I love steak. I don't crave it. Like, I like fish. I like chicken, but I'm not like, I need to have my steak or I'm going to fucking freak out. But when you have junk food and soda and candy, you have those cravings. So you're less likely to be able to manage your calories in, calories out. So I feel like a lot of people, and you've tagged some that are just big, that all they say, like, no matter what they do, whether it's alcohol, they do whatever, and they just say calories in, calories out. That's pretty much their only message. And they put their arm around you, calories in, calories out.
You talk about if it fits my macros people.
Yeah, but even
that's dumb too.
But there's a lot. I mean, and there's people that have, hundreds of thousands of followers, but it's just, I think the message when you see, and it's only people like, Lane Norton. You have even people that you tagged, was it James Smith and Jordan Syatt? Like, there's a lot of, I like their content. I've seen it. People point them out, but it's like relentlessly just like, it's so simple. Just count calories, count calories. When I talk about on my content, I think it's a much better way. This is, of course, my opinion. I'm not saying they don't get results. I'm not saying I don't like that. I think they're correct essentially, but the message is getting to a lot of people that are going to struggle a lot more handling that if they're not focusing on food quality first. I don't see why you can't have both together and both like
what
really,
you're saying.
really, truly important. And then obviously if you have results and you train regularly and you're at your body mass and my body mass, when you have a cheat meal, I mean, your body, the norm is going, it's going to go right back to that. But I feel like there's either excessive, it's just calories in, calories out. You can have soda and Pop-Tarts and pizza. You're also going to be missing you're also going to be missing nutrients if you're eating 1,800 calories and you're getting nutrient devoid empty foods. It's just, right. I don't like that approach. And I feel like these people have massive followings. They're more intelligent than that. And it's almost,
I agree with you.
Just to finish it, it's like a lazy way out. And it's simplifying it too much, in my opinion.
I get what you're saying. I definitely agree that food quality is absolutely important. Like, I mean, absolutely. I also I view it as this. As long as I can make, I prioritize certain things. I prioritize my micronutrients. I prioritize my protein. I prioritize my my caloric goal for whatever I'm feeling at the time. And I also prioritize my essential fatty acids. Absolutely, because I want to make sure my endocrine system runs correctly, right? Now, if I can manage to have a beer or two on the weekend, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? I am. But also, I will say this: when I was losing weight, I did not, because it did not fit my goal. Right. Because I was very restricted. Because I stayed restricted. I can tell you this: being restricted for extremely long periods of time too. For I don't know if you've ever been overweight, but when you're coming from overweight and being restricted for very long can be a problem, because what happens is you end up getting food fixated, and I can see that lending to eating disorders. But I get what you're saying too, where it's I have this phrase where it's you talk to the dumbest motherfucker in your audience. You need to make sure, if I say, if you do, actually this is a good example. I actually fell prey to this recently, where we actually at the Damn Collective for our coaching do something that's kind of different. A lot of coaches don't do. We kind of graduate people. We will reach out to be look, we think we've taught you everything we need to teach you. We don't want to take your money anymore. You know what I mean? We will tell them we don't feel right taking your money when we think you've learned everything is to learn to us. And our goal is to make sure that you've learned what you need to learn and you can go on and everything like that. You can always come back, but let's push you out on your own. And one of the things we always do, especially if they've lost a decent amount of weight, we just recently had a guy who came to us. He had already lost 40 pounds, and he lost another 60 some pounds with us, 65 pounds, right? And we had him put 65 pounds in a backpack and take a mile walk, and record it. Record himself as he was walking, talking to himself, everything like that, right? Because people don't realize how once the weight loss slows down and stuff like that, sometimes it can mess with their head. Sometimes it can mess with them where they're they feel almost defeated because they're not losing weight anymore. Because for a while they actually identify as the person that loses weight. They're that guy at the office who's lost X amount of weight, blah, 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 right?
Right.
So once they get to that weight, they kind of forget what it was like. They get used to being able to move around. They get used to being able to fit in smaller clothes. They get used to these things. So it becomes kind of normal, right? And then if you ever put on a backpack with the weight you've lost on and go for a mile walk and remember how much weight you used to carry around, it's fucking eye-opening. It really is. I know this. If I put on a backpack that would have another 50 or 60 pounds in it right now and go for a walk, I'd be like, holy fuck, it gets fucking old real quick. You know? I can't believe I used to fucking carry this around all the time, right? Mm-hmm. The problem is we had people reaching out to us being like, hey, I've lost 200 pounds. Where do I find a backpack that big? I'm like, don't fucking do that. That's fucking dumb. And I did not realize, I actually had to make another post, don't do any more than X amount of weight. We had a 110-pound girl, or 120-pound girl reach out to us. She was like, well, I need to put 80 pounds on. No, you fucking don't. You don't want to fucking walk with 3/4 your body weight on your fucking back. Let's be healthy about this. So I actually made a mistake where I'm not, with the best of intention, I made a mistake of not remembering I'm talking to the dumbest motherfucker in my audience. Not that you guys are dumb. If you guys are listening,
one of you out there is the dumbest, though.
Yeah, one of you out there is the dumbest. You just need to accept that. So I get what you're saying. I mean, but I do also view it as a huge problem I see with the fitness business. The fitness, it's a very weird niche. Where you were talking about how it's all split up into different segments and all of that.
Sure.
I think the most dangerous segments are um, the complete misinformation people, you know, or the you need to be so lean, so strict, so this, so that people that's actually not healthy either. Like there's nothing really healthy about bodybuilding, right? Competitive powerlifting, not really healthy. You know, it's just not. You know, it's not. It's fitness, but it's not really healthy. You know, just the same thing as most professional athletics are not healthy. They're sports. They're competition. You know, so a truly like a truly fit, healthy person that is focused only on their longevity looks remarkably different than even you and I. You
For
know what I mean?
sure.
Like the average like at 5'9", 5'10" person that is just looking at for their longevity is about 15 to 16% body fat, weighs probably about 165 to 170 pounds. Um, that's been a very healthy weight range. It's in a very healthy body fat range. They normally, have good pound for pound strength ratio, but they're not exceedingly strong. They have good endurance, but they don't pound their body by running excessive amounts. They, can swim. They can get up and do just about any physical endeavor they want to do, but they're not pushing themselves super, super, super hard athletically, because there becomes a point in diminishing returns when it comes to specific goals. Like if I train for powerlifting, I can train certain ways to make myself physically stronger, get used to the motor pathways differently, to become more efficient each move and everything like that. But that does not, and that is, I'm getting great returns in that aspect of my fitness. But the long-term fitness is I am putting my body under extreme load. I am putting my tendons, joints, ligaments under extreme load. Things like that nature, where I think in the fitness world in general, like the biggest problems we have as a society is actual fitness and wellness. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and to a great degree, most of the very, very, very popular fitness channels are way, way, way more about you know, uh, getting shredded, and stuff like that.
For sure. I think you're actually 100% correct. It seems like everything in fitness, and we kind of touched upon this even earlier, that everything in fitness is a niche. Everything is, and you have these, all the factions, and then you have the extreme shredded, and then they have big followings. You have the booty models. Okay. You have this, you have the fasting people, and then you have, everything is like an extreme, and there aren't that many that actually talk common sense, like your channel and my channel. And what I was really meaning is not that any of that is incorrect, but you have to recognize that calories in and calories out fucking exist. It's real. It's science. You have to agree that food quality matters. Even if you think you can have pizza, you shouldn't be having whatever you believe about gut biome, whatever you believe about hormones. You shouldn't be eating pizza every day, even if it's calorically restricted pizza. Like there's certain basic fundamentals, but that doesn't get a lot of attention, right? You have to go deep on one thing. You have to go all in. And I refer to this as the planting the flag. Like I made videos on Brandon Carter, like the keto king. Like, why do you have to be why do you want to be the keto king for something that's a fad? Like that's not going to last. And then it's going to be viewed as dumb. What are you going to be, the paleo king next? It's just a stupid approach. And it just shows that you're not trying to help people. You're trying to make money by being an authority for something that's just trending. And it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means it just exposes you. But here's the thing. It exposes them to people that actually know what they're fucking talking about.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, is that it doesn't expose it to the 200,000 people that follow them and, jerk off every time they post.
Paleo. Holy fuck. Nothing. I have like certain things that like are huge pet peeves of mine. Paleo candy bars.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid. Like, do you know what the word paleo means? Like,
They don't.
They don't. They don't. They think it's the name of a diet. Like, it's so fucking bad. It really, really is. I like, my thing is like I don't. As long as they're giving safe, good information that's not misleading, I don't give a fuck what people want to make money at. I really don't. Like, because certain people are not like. I can tell you this: dealing with morbidly obese people every day, I would prefer some of these people not. To tell you the truth, like I really would. Like they would cause the person more harm. than good. That's why I get so pissed off at people like the healthy at every size people really upset me because they propagate a lie that is actually physically dangerous to people.
Hmm.
I've even had people recently be like, well, that's not the true meaning of healthier every size. The meaning of healthy every size is that you can have you can start healthy activity at any size.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Great, but the majority of the most well-known people from healthy at every size say you can be 400 pounds and healthy. I mean, and that's it's the same thing like where people are like, well, no, the actual message of this is this. The actual message, well, you can say what the actual message of this, the most accepted popular method or meaning is how it's seen popularly.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's for everybody. I really don't. Like, I don't think like getting people to avoid being obese. Every fitness professional should talk about it. Everybody should, but in dealing with people that are morbidly obese, man, it's just like, it's just fine line of making sure you're being good to them and make sure they're being good to themselves, but also holding them accountable. But then you also make sure that you also make sure that you realize that there's a chance that they're going to lie to you, like about the food they're intaking, like stuff like that. Like it's important to make sure that you pay close attention to them. And the problem is that's where it gets easy for people to lie to them. That's where they want like nobody that buys the you can lose 50 pounds in 3 weeks plan. Nobody that buys that does not want to be healthy. I mean, like they want to be healthy,
Hmm.
they don't want to be obese, they just they see this long road. Like, imagine, like, have you ever had to lose weight for anything? Like, like a physical, a sport or anything like that?
You mean lose weight for like a competition or specifically,
Yeah.
or just for myself?
Just for yourself.
Yeah, I was, I'm about 5'10" myself, and I had, it was like the peak of my bulking. I got up to 225, which was like, I remember I forgot something in my car and I jogged out and I just felt heavy on my joints. I said, fuck this. So then I trimmed down. Right now I'm probably about like 190, 195.
Okay, so you lost about 30 pounds, right?
Yeah. And then
How long did it take?
I don't remember, but it wasn't that long.
Right. But you're a fitness professional, and you were still working out. You're already in shape. Imagine you've sat on your couch to the point where you've gained 300 pounds. You're 500 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like the distance between what is healthy and you seems like the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, it's just so vast.
Yeah.
They just it makes them very susceptible, and they know. Like when I talk to these people, they know they're dying. Like, so it's not like they're not desperate for a six pack. It's mortal. It's like it's a primal thing, dude. And it makes it really easy to either be told, well, you know what, no, you're okay, because that's what they want to hear more than anything, or yeah, I can get you there in a year. Like I've had people come to me and be like, my last coach said they could have me lose 200 pounds in like 6 months. I'm like, your last coach, what, did they plan on cutting your legs off? What the fuck? Like, because that's the only way, it's really no wonder they don't trust any of us. I have people reach out all the time, and I don't know, I don't use transformation photos or testimonials at all, because they're all, I have seen so many people fake them. It's fucking disgusting. Like, I mean, when you see a testimonial on Instagram and they don't tag the person that's lost the weight,
Oh yeah,
or made the transformation, it's fake. Assume it. I literally assume it. Like if it's just like, look at this, one of our clients did this, they don't tag the person, they don't like that. Like, so the person is going to be totally okay with you showing a picture of them either in their underwear or shirtless, with loose skin and everything like that. They're perfectly good with that, and you can use that to benefit you, but you're not going to tag them. They're not okay being tagged. Bullshit. It's just we're seeing in the fitness industry, we're seeing as slime balls because the majority of us are.
it seems like the massive weight loss, like what we've been talking about, the morbid obesity. That's really one of the only few true callings and true approaches to fitness, because like we mentioned, Athletics, that's not required for longevity and health.
Right.
Bodybuilding and building muscle, I mean, to an extent past like, okay, having muscle tone and functional strength
Right.
is not required. But and that's what everything gathers as, and that's where the fitness industry really split and really put the most important aspect in this corner. And I mean, I don't think this is, short-sighted or missing the point at all, because this is really the only, or one of the few true approaches and true things that needs to be actually addressed frantically. It's not. And now it's being threatened, quote unquote, by the fat acceptance movement. It's like, get the fuck out of here. This is the only reason why people really should be. I mean, you don't have to look a certain way. That's society. That's going to change. Marilyn Monroe to Pamela Anderson, like that's always going to fluctuate and change. But the fact of the matter is, if you are putting yourself at risk for dying, you're putting yourself at risk for dying, whether you're anorexic or you're morbidly obese. And I have some content coming, and I've done stuff before, and it's a sensitive issue, but I'm not afraid to make a video on it. Like, I mean, why would I be at this point?
Right.
But there's a lot of these Instagram nutritionists to change, like to kind of move the subject. I am seeing a lot, and I've made a couple of videos, and there's a couple more coming on these vegan nutritionists that are healthy and helping people be young and healthy, and their skin and bones.
Yeah, that one lady.
Yeah, I have another one too, but it's not as bad. But it's when you have nutritionist in your bio, when you have helping people be healthier, and you are like, you look at you, and in a split second, this person looks like they recently got out of a concentration camp. It's not a good look. And I make a video, and it's like, look, I want you to get help. If you're watching this, it's not mean, but if you have followers, whether it's 10,000 or 100,000, there are a lot of people that think that being like, you need to eat some food. I don't care if you want to be a vegan, but you need to eat a lot more of whatever you already are eating.
It's the catch up on aesthetics is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't ever look at myself and be like I said, last summer I wanted to see how low a body fat I could go, just like as a physical test for myself. I really did. I did not like that. You know what I mean? But like I also can look at myself and be like, okay, I don't want to get overweight. I absolutely, because that's not healthy, right? But I felt how being super thin wasn't healthy either. Like I find it amazing, like we're perfectly okay. Like if you say that there's something wrong with Tess Holliday being on the cover of a magazine, people get pissed. They really do. And I personally, like, again, aesthetics is a matter of opinion. It really, really is. She's not healthy. Period. Like the July Cosmo UK magazine lists her as strong, fit, and 300 pounds. Like there's an article saying she's strong, fit, and 300 pounds. That is dangerous pandering. That really is, right? But she can be on the cover of something like that. But I do remember not too long ago when the super, super thin models, there was uproar about super thin models being on the cover of magazines because it wasn't healthy and it set a bad image, right? Mm-hmm. So we're discriminating against different types of unhealthiness now. Like, I mean, like we're actually discriminating on like, why is one unhealthy better than a different unhealthy? Because they're both very, very, very unhealthy. Arguably, being super skinny is much easier to recover from. It really, really, really is. Like in great degree. And with the video I'm making today actually shows how quickly somebody can start recovering from that. Believe it or not, from
being excessively thin, like anorexic, or
well, not even necessarily anorexic, but having an excessively low body fat percentage too, and excessively thin, I guess.
Gotcha.
Like if a bikini model or a female fitness competitor gets way too low of a body fat percentage, yes, they can have long-term hormonal effects, but they can add weight rather quickly. The body does not want to stay that thin. As soon as you add calories back, the body will, pull that in as fast as possible and assimilate it quickly too. Glycogen refills the muscle tissue that's there. The body wants to be able to adapt and have more, be able to move and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So the recovery period of that is much faster, believe it or not, than being overweight. So one can be recovered from much quicker, but that's the one that we just that is absolutely demonized. And I don't think that should be on the cover of magazines either, just so people realize. I think we should have real, like, if people really wanted this to stop, we would not accept photoshopping of magazine covers. You know what I mean? Like, uh, that would be a thing of the past, because it does, like, they're not even real. Like, I mean, like, what you see is not even real. Like, I mean, uh, people will hashtag no filter with tons of fucking filters, or tons of fucking makeup, or tons of fucking this. Like, what the fuck did your girl Brittany Dawn? Like, she made that one video where, like, oh, I just thought I'd go with the natural look. Like, you are wearing an inch of fucking makeup. You're wearing an inch of foundation. Like, you did not wake up like that, you know? Like, I mean, you really did. By the way, I liked your video recently, how she's rewriting the past.
Oh God.
It's exact. Me and you had an online conversation where I even said that's what she's going to do. I was like, she is going to wait this the fuck out. I was like, she's going to delete videos, and you watch. She is going to change the fucking script, and people are so fucking stupid. Like, she still gets a lot of. My cats are fighting. Excuse me.
No, that's fine.
She still gets a lot of. Was he mean to you? He was. Okay. But she still gets a lot of likes, a lot of follows. I'm sure she's bought a lot of them. But there are people that, like, still, like, they're like, oh, you're so brave. Like, she was talking about, like, everybody goes through seasons in life, like
seasons of being a criminal,
seasons of robbing people. Like, I've never gone through a season of that. Like, I don't recall having a season where I, like, completely lied to everybody.
A 5-year period where I just took people's money and normal, standard.
But dude, I'll tell you this right now. She's going to have more interactions than me this month, probably.
She didn't go as far as, you remember, you saw the video where I was talking about how she should make it back. She says that she should just do phone calls and use the ad spend to pay people back, and just do that for like 3 months, and people would be like, cool. And you did it. You solved the problem. That was really respectful. You actually dug in and made it right. No. And her boyfriend's like photoshopping pics. I saw a bunch of videos, but it's not something to really.
When she made the video addressing you, I fucking laughed my ass off. Like, and to the guy that's making videos about me, get a life. I think you don't like women. If to say that to a woman, like, she's trying to pull the, like, trying to garner
don't get a girlfriend. That's probably not a good idea. You don't want to submit a girl to your evil ways.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think she really thought that video was going to go very different. Like, she waited and addressing the hate. And blah, blah, blah.
Of course she did.
I really think she thought that video was going to go very differently for her. Where she was like, and to you, I was just like, say his name, say his name.
Say my name, bitch.
Yeah.
Fucking too afraid, too scared.
Well, because in reality, like, I think she's like V-Shreds. I don't think she's in charge.
No.
I think somebody's telling her what to say.
Anyone that thinks that thing is in charge of anything, I mean, in charge of what?
If somebody's telling her what content to make. The video I did about her with the juice video was hilarious. By the way, did I mention I have juice? Yeah, 25 times.
Oh my God.
Juice. Like,
the sponsor one?
Yeah. She did the worst sponsored videos ever. Like, how you would work this in? Like, you expect us to believe that you're drinking 1,500 calories of juice a day. Okay.
Sure.
Like, I don't think you take in 1,500 calories in like 3 days.
No.
I really don't. Like, I was just like, come on now. Like, it's people. It's that shit. Like, I mean, like, society needs to stop accepting that stuff, though, dude. They really, really do. Like, I'm an old fucker, like, I mean, I know we're probably gonna wrap up here soon, but I would at least say this, just in case if you're watching, you don't know, I'm going to be 48 years old in about 20 days. I mean, 48, and granted, I'm in good shape, and I got good genetics and blah blah blah, and I consider myself decently knowledgeable, and I've got, and what, no, don't let all the fucks kid you. My heart's in the right place. I really want to help as many people get healthy as possible. That's what my wife and I built our business around. It's what we've been doing. That's what we like to do. My job before this was taking care of the elderly, making sure they were fed well. That is literally what I used to do. I mean, so I understand, and it's easy to think that I'm just some mean motherfucker, because I'm not very nice. I am very sarcastic. It is just my nature. Live with it. But think about it this way. For me, in 3 years, to amass a YouTube channel that gets millions of views a month, yet alone other stuff, for me to have in any way a voice in an industry that is historically had people only who were super strong or were super pretty or were super lean or were super this or super that. For me to be kind of like an average strength guy. I'm stronger than the average guy, but I'm not some crazy strong guy, especially compared to just the general population. For my age, you could argue that yes, but for just a general fitness population, I'm not super strong. I'm definitely not super lean. I am not super good looking. I got, I got wrinkles.
I wouldn't say that, man. You're a pretty beautiful bald man.
Well, thank you. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, for me to have a voice, that's my voice is literally what I do is narrate other people's idiot moments. I don't make shit up. I just I restate what they said and place the actual facts next to them.
In your opinion, of course.
In my opinion, of course. And for me to have a voice, that's how fucked up the fitness industry is. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I bust my ass. Nobody's going to work harder than my wife and I. We wake up every morning 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm at work before I'm out of bed. I'm naked in bed reading fucking emails. Period. When you run your own businesses, that's what you need to fucking do. So my wife and I work harder than anybody I fucking know. I mean, because I don't get to see other people, but you know what I mean. Like we bust our ass. We work hard. We grind. No shit. But for me to have an actual voice, like for people to be tuning in, that's how fucked up the fitness industry is. I mean, granted, I think I'm decently entertaining, but the industry is so fucked up that I was given a pathway to be that way.
People appreciate the humility too. I mean, because you recognize that, and a lot of people act like they're the shit and they have all the information. And I tell everyone the fastest way to know that someone's full of shit is if they act like they know all the answers and act like they know everything. And
well, I try not to even show my workouts and shit like that. I don't, because information has nothing to do with what I can physically do.
True.
That's like the only I think the last thing I showed of me doing anything physical was the pistol squat box jump shit.
The box jump, when someone called you out on that, or someone said that you said you could, and someone's like, "Oh, was that Chris Correa?"
Chris Haria, whatever the fuck.
Whatever.
He called me an old, bald, fat, out of shape cloud chaser, or whatever. Yeah. And no offense, like pull up wise, he'd whip my ass, but standing on our feet, he's nothing. Like
leg day,
he's nothing. Like, and I said in a video that I knew, like, I understand why he was upset. Like the second video I made, I said I understand why he's upset, because it has to be hard for him to take criticism from a guy twice his age who is physically his superior on everything besides what's on the bar, and his fans lost their shit. And I kid you not, like you can even ask, like, because I've got like a group of guys that I talk to every day. They help moderate my Facebook group and stuff like that. And I talked to my wife about it. I was like, I'm going to bait this motherfucker and his fans into into saying like, well, Chris does this, you can't do this, you can't do that. Because I trained calisthenics all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like at the time I was doing like 100 pull-ups every day, no matter what, and 100 dips every day, no matter what. Stuff like that. Like plyo push-ups, explosive push-ups. Like one of my programs has a plyometric day in it, right? So. And jumping wise, dude, I got fucking crazy hops. You know what I mean? Like I really do. Like, and I always have. And I do yoga all the time, so I'm super mobile. Blah blah blah. Right. So, of course, they lose their shit. Right. You probably can't even do a pistol squat. And blah blah blah. This I'm like, all right, motherfuckers. So I made the video like just an old bald salty cloud chaser hanging out at the gym, and I show myself doing the jump pistol squat. And all of a sudden, fucking silence from his fucking crew. Like, I mean, like totally fucking silent. But I try not to do stuff like that, because what I can do is relatively unimportant. Like that was I did that because like I wanted to be like, fuck you. I started off like YouTube thing started off with just like me showing heavy squats and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But once I realized, like, once you educate yourself a little bit, once you learn, that's not really helping anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We talked about that a little bit before.
Yeah. That doesn't really help anybody.
Yeah, for sure.
And if anything, that can actually lead to people getting injured a little bit. Like my squat videos are still up. They're still up. I think on Instagram you can find like a couple at 575 or whatever. You know what I mean? But I haven't squatted heavy in fucking year. Like there's no reward for me anymore. Why would I fucking do it? I couldn't even tell you what my max is. I don't max out on shit ever.
But that's very amateur of an approach, like in terms of people getting, ego lifting. And I've tried to do fitness videos. I've done some fitness vlogs. I've done some little demos on Instagram. It doesn't inspire me because those are commoditized. You can Google an exercise that's been posted 10 times, whether it's Jeff Cavalier, whether it's Omar, anyone else, Alan Thrall, like people that's their thing.
Yeah.
And if you're intelligent and if you develop as a person, you start to realize what your strengths are and you focus on your strengths.
Right.
And doing heavy lifts. Yeah, I've deadlifted 500 or whatever. I've squatted, but I've never been the strongest person because throughout my entire career, personally, I've never tried to be the strongest. I was never into massive strength. I was into muscle and proportion and mobility. So that's always been my thing. And it's just once you realize what makes you happy and what you're good at and what real actual longevity, and that's why I try to guide people is to that longevity, because once you go that route, everything else almost like works itself out. If you think about longevity, you understand calories in, calories out. You understand the quality of the food. You understand the importance of yoga and mobility, recovery, meditation, taking some time away. It's like if you go after longevity, everything else almost falls into place like puzzle pieces. And if you're going after strength, that's eventually you're going to get hurt. Like how late, like right now, if you kept on lifting heavy, how long is it going to be until by default you're just going to do that one rep too much and it's going to be the end of it? Like eventually, I mean, you can.
Well, the thing was, I was already
You're feeling it.
Yeah, I was already feeling it. You know what I mean? Like I really was. Especially because I was carrying around so much extra weight.
True.
To be strong. Like one of the things I was looking at the time when I first got started, I was going to do a powerlifting competition, and for my age bracket, I was like in there with possibly setting a national record. I was at one point in time I beat at one point in time the national record was like 565 or something like that for the weight I was at for my age bracket, and did 575 in the gym. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I can fucking beat it.
Yeah.
But then some fucking dude from Ohio came on and fucking did crushed it. Shit like that. So like, that's fuck that shit. But no. And then was it 3 years ago? My birthday, I've got this thing where my birthday is always like a fucking crazy hellacious workout, right? And I used to squat heavy every birthday, like do like heavy feats of strength every birthday, just because I was an idiot. And 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I squatted heavy. I hit it was 2 years ago, I think. It was before I lost all the weight. I fucking no, it was 3 years ago. I fucking squatted heavy. I did like 555 for a double or something like that, or 535 for a double. And then I was like, okay, I'll finish off with leg press, and I tore my groin muscle because I just stupid. Why? For my birthday. Happy birthday, motherfucker! You're stupid. And it was one of the I've really evolved in the last couple of years, to realize okay. It's unfortunate because I can now I've said it on video. I was the first one to admit I thought about it wrong. I was keeping weight on for arbitrary purposes that mean nothing in the longevity of it. As I thought I was Superman, and it's all of a sudden, and luckily I had really good genetics for all that shit. My cholesterol is great, all blah blah blah. But as soon as I started getting sleep apnea, I caught an injury or two, like the groin tear, and it was a minor tear, but that came after I had I have arthritis in my right shoulder, and I had aggravated the arthritis in my right shoulder really, really, really bad. Military pressing, heavy weight for no fucking reason. It's stupid, And I was like, okay, this is stupid. I'm supposed to be a fitness professional. What does fitness actually mean? Blah blah blah. Went through this, and my wife is just looking at me I could tell she's because at the time she's uber healthy, incredibly healthy. She's incredibly like she is now, you know what I mean? Where in comparison though, I'm really strong. That's it. She can walk forever, run forever, pistol squats, yoga for 2 hours, and then teach a class and fucking I'm watching her
just getting tired.
There's no fucking way in 10 years if I don't change, I'm gonna be able to keep up. Like
Yeah.
absolutely no way. And dude, the entire goal is to be 90 years old watching the fucking sun go down over the Gulf of Mexico. Like holding hands, wrinkled up prunes.
Well, you're going to be 90, and that's the point that I try to get across. Is
Yeah,
no matter what, and it goes with the same thing with massive weight loss. Just to wrap it up, it's like a year is going to go by, 2 years they're going to go by. Hopefully, right? It depends on
yeah,
how obese you are, but like you are going to be 80, you want to be 90, so it's not waiting till you're 60 or 70, like, oh, I'm getting old, my back hurt. No. When you're 30, when you're 20, when you're 40, 50, you need to be thinking about that now, because it's going to be, you have to look, it goes two ways. You could say it's never too late, but I think we both know it can easily be too late to really make a difference. And I've seen it. I used to train people that, would fucking brush up against a machine and like half their skin would rip off and like by accident.
yeah.
And it's like, oh, like they could barely stand up. I have trained, and I haven't trained in person when I was training. I trained a geriatric population. So
Oh God.
it wasn't necessarily the morbid obese population in person, but I worked with people that could literally not stand up, and literally it would be like, okay, stand up. And it would take maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds of processing the fact that they want to stand up. And then actually another 15, 20 seconds, maybe longer, of them actually getting to upright, and then eccentric, and then lowering the seat. And then the person would drive away in a Bentley. It's like, look,
Yeah.
this is not the answer. The answer is not to be crippling yourself just to have possessions, because that guy can barely fucking get in and out of the car. It would take him
Right.
like 15, 20 minutes. I would go out there and help him.
One of I had an interesting fucking comment in my Facebook group, not too long ago, and it said that obesity is a government conspiracy, and you can almost see it, like, because like they get money from from lobbyists and stuff, like blah blah blah, right? So you can almost see it, like, where it's a conspiracy to make people obese to sell other products, and the person was like, no, it's a conspiracy to fix the Social Security system, because there was this thing where the Social Security, like they're saying Social Security is going bankrupt. The safety net for the elderly is going bankrupt because we have more elderly than we have people paying in, right? So it's going to be it's going to be this issue, right? So what they're doing is reducing the population. The people that I'm 48, or I'm going to be 48 here real soon. I see a lot of people I went to high school with that aren't going to make it to 65. I'm talking a lot. Like a lot of people, like 300 pounds. You're okay. You're in your mid 40s. You're 300 pounds. Guess what? You're already on blood pressure medication, which people don't understand. Like, if you once you on blood pressure medication is inherently poisonous to your body. I mean, it like things like that. Like, whenever you're ingesting a chemical to control bodily function, that's not good. I mean, that's not good. That's why hormonal birth control for women is not even that great either. You know what I mean? Like, it has long-term effects, right? So you're in your early 40s. You've been on blood pressure medication for a couple years now. You're on cholesterol medication to control your cholesterol. You're on this. You're on that. You're on this. You're on that. And you're still 300 pounds, right? So now in comes diabetes. Now you're on multiple medications. That's when you start to get on put. Since you've worked with the geriatric population, you understand this. I've seen this a million times.
Yep.
That's when they have to start putting you on medications to handle the side effects of your medications. That's how you end up on 6, 7, 8, 9 medications that will bankrupt you, by the way, because it's only going to be paid for so much, by your insurance. So you are paying, $800 to $1,000 a month, even if you're not diabetic on medications, right? So you got stress from that, everything like that. That's how you pitch a heart attack when you're 65.
Yeah.
So I actually have, when you actually, I thought about the guy's comment, and I was like, that's actually could be such a viable fucking, like, I don't think it's true, but the logic string is very fucking clear. Like, I can look at people that I grew up with and know, like, I mean, I'm at the age now. It's normally like my parents are, once they got into their like late 60s, early 70s, that's when they started going to a lot of funerals, of people they knew. Like, I'm going to start going to a lot of funerals here in about 5-10 years. Like, in my 50s, I can see people starting to drop off, because they don't realize how they eat like shit now while they're already in shit health. And They don't take it seriously enough because they think a doctor will be able to give them a pill to fix everything. And that's the scary portion we're at. This is really like almost like it's almost like population control, where we are idioting, if that's a word. We're using idiocy as a way of killing ourselves off, and it's very very true. You know.
Absolutely. And I have a neighbor who actually is dealing with Alzheimer's.
Ugh.
I mean, like she doesn't know where she's going. She asks me
I'll move to Colorado.
she asks me my dog's name like every time I see her. She goes, "Oh," and she asks if my dog is getting fat. I'm like, "Dog's not fat. Dog's fine." And like as if she sees her the first time. And I'm sure you've heard, type 3 diabetes. They're calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes, which is great.
Yeah.
We need another level of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. And there's so much proof that goes towards it. And of course, a lot of people are going to push back on that because everyone wants to believe that there's this trend of denial. Anything new, people don't want to accept it. And there's this push off of responsibility. And I'm sure you could make an argument for every last thing that it starts with the parents, it starts with the culture, and it starts with this, and it starts with that. If people realized, and I think it's because we've been in a system for so long, and this is just, off the top of my head, but I've thought about this a lot. And because of that whole education training for a factory, this whole like machine,
Right.
people forgot that this country was founded by a revolution, and people forgot how to revolt, but not in the sense that I'm like, hey, push anarchy, chaos in the streets. But the fact that like that fundamental aspect of revolution means you're independent. You can make a choice. Like, I mean, we are in a society, which is, I mean, it's great. We have structure and we have this, like we need that. Otherwise it would just be tribes and it'd be fucking chaos. But if we understand that we have the choice for food, we have the choice for exercise, we have the choice for information and for filtering that, it just needs to be a little bit more, people need to learn that they have more control over their lives. And
Well, the thing, the upbringing, and I've had a hard life stuff. I'm very sympathetic for that because a lot of people have, but I also have people in my life that have been through and had really, 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 really hard pasts, who are amazing people. I mean, and help, like they're amazing people in spite of all that. They're not like, it's like truly. I find it like almost like insulting, like people that are very close to me that I love very, very much have had very, 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 very horrible things happen to them multitude of times in their life by many different people on so many different levels. And they take it as an opportunity to not only be the best person they can be and the healthiest person they can be, but to help other people too. So when people come at me with that shit, I feel for you. I really do. I hope you get some counseling. I hope you find some peace. And I hope you honestly can find a way to understand that that is what happened to you. That is not you. Like you define who you are. By your actions, by how you treat people, by how you treat yourself. You define who you are. You can choose to educate yourself. Like, because here's the thing, like I get it that not everybody can afford college. I totally get that. It's not even that necessary in today's world. But just because you can't afford college doesn't mean you don't educate yourself. Like, dude, my wife and I read studies every day. Like, I mean, like we educate ourselves every fucking day about what we do because we love it. You define who you are, not what happened to you, not society, anything like that. You can in a day and age where it is acceptable, and I'm glad it is. People can even define their own gender, because I just want people to be happy. When people can define their own gender, that means your past should not matter. Like, you can define yourself. You can define yourself as the type of person you are in the way you want to. You just need to work at it. And so when people come at me with that bullshit, that is just a fucking excuse to be unhealthy. And if you want to use an excuse and you want to be unhealthy, that's your choice too. Just don't bullshit other people and tell them that it's because of that. That's one of the things that I hear all the time. Like, you have to work on your mental health before you can work on your physical health. That is so fucking stupid. I can't even wrap my head around it. Nothing will help your mental health and well-being more than getting physically healthy. Nothing helps your mental outlook more. Nothing like your sense of accomplishment. You know, one of the things my wife and I do for people, like when they lose their first 10 pounds, that's fucking, look what you did. You took these steps in this way. You took action. You did this. You did weight. The weight didn't leave you. You pushed it off. You know, like you made that happen. You are in control. Like you're not out of, it is not out of your control. You are in control. Like when people say that stupid bullshit, that is a fucking cop out. I hear that all the time from fat acceptance people. Like, well, I need to be accepted for who I am. You're accepted. You're fucking accepted. The president's obese. Like you can be anything you fucking want and be obese. You can be fucking anything you want except for healthy. You know, like you're totally fucking accepted. I don't give a fuck what the fuck you've been through. I don't give a fuck what the fuck how bad it was. Literally I don't care how the fuck hard your life was. You are in charge of you. You know? And when people say that shit all the time, again, like if that's your hang up, I wish you nothing but health and betterment. But when people then stand up and fucking use it as a platform to fucking hurt other people, that's fucked up. I want to bring her up one time because we haven't talked about her. Have you ever heard of the fat sex therapist on Instagram?
I have. I've seen you mention it. I've seen posts or in text, but I haven't actually looked at the profile.
After I made a video about her because she said some stupid bullshit, somebody sent me a post from her from January 9th. And I will preface this by this woman is a licensed counselor in PA in New Jersey. She's a licensed fucking counselor. I don't know how she has her fucking license. She has a post from January 9th that says it is okay to disable yourself by becoming morbidly obese.
She has a post that says it's okay to be morbidly obese?
No. She has many posts that say it's okay to be morbidly obese. She has a post that says it is okay to become disabled from being morbidly obese. Like it is okay if you get like I have the screenshot, but I'm not gonna look it up.
No, send it to me later.
I will, but it literally says that she says it is okay to disable yourself because you've made yourself morbidly obese. It is okay to be disabled for being morbidly obese. To be a counselor and tell people that self-harm in that way is okay. I don't know how she has a fucking license. It is not okay to disable yourself. You do not love yourself if you disable yourself. You define you. The problem is if you do that, if that's your choice, if you just say I'm going to eat until I become disabled, it's what I want to do. You're in charge of you. That's on you. Society didn't do that to you. Mm-hmm. You did it to you. I will leave you the fuck alone. My problem is when somebody fucking stands up and tells other people that it's okay to do it, and they give them the social permission, especially when authority is attached to their fucking name.
Yeah.
That's my fucking problem. That's what gets under my fucking skin. That's what makes me make a fucking video about somebody. People wonder the shit that why I'm angry so often, because dumb ass shit like that happens all the fucking time. Because our society has somehow become, dude, have you noticed how it's just all of a sudden? It's like I know that people are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but like man, in the last 3 years, fat acceptance is like it went from like you can't make a joke about a fat person. A fat person can't make a joke about a fat person. Like,
would it be safe to say that the movement has gotten massive?
Oh, it's gotten massive. Yeah, good joke.
Thank you.
But like, that's my issue is that when people give social permission to others to harm themselves, that's fucked up.
Absolutely, it's the same thing with about the vegan nutritionists and the ones that are extremely emaciated. There's one, and I'm not going to say it before the video comes out, but in the screen name, it says healthy blank. It's like you're according to whose standards? According to like the concentration camps in World War II. Like, yeah, you look great. It's not a good look. And with what you were saying before, it's that social acceptance. It's the social currency and the permission to do so. And we're not taught to continue. We're not taught how to learn. We're taught what to learn. We're taught to memorize, spit it back out. And when you graduate college, people stop reading. People stop reading books. I mean, you got podcasts now like this. You have books and Kindle and, fucking like, you know, your phone will read the book to you if you don't like to actually read, but consume. But your information doesn't have to stop. You have to learn you have to understand how to learn and keep that passion. Otherwise, you stay in the dark ages, and it's really it's really a shame that you have people with those credentials. And I know that's why even from the low level, like a certified personal trainer, it's frustrating when a fitness professional, but we have those things like verifications, like the badge, the blue check on Instagram. You see that, all of a sudden that person knows what they're talking about. You have 170,000 followers, that person's, an authority. So we had this underlying disconnect with what we attribute to authority. But then what really grinds my gears, and obviously yours, is when someone has RD or RN or PhD. Man, for the amount of people that flaunt a fucking degree, I rarely talk about my education. If someone asks, I'll tell you. I don't flaunt that, just like how you don't, we post workout videos. I don't need to tell you what my degree is every single fucking post. And I think you probably know a little bit of, some of the people that I'm talking about, but some people think they have to fucking let you know their resume every time they make a post. I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Well, I happen to know a few PhDs. What happens when somebody gets a PhD and all of a sudden they think they're an expert on everything?
Jesus Christ. Tell me about it.
A PhD means you are very, very, first of all, a PhD for the most part means you're a researcher. Like they teach you how to research, right? And it's normally extremely specified. It's an extremely narrow field, and that's great. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a huge accomplishment. It really, really is. But being a PhD, like Dr. Stepani, I think he's got a PhD in nutrition science or something like that. That doesn't make you a kinesiology expert. It doesn't make you a mechanical expert. If you have a degree in nutrition, that doesn't mean you know what the fuck you're doing when it comes to movement patterns at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
it frustrates me that when people that have a PhD use and put doctor in front. I don't care if it's a doctorate. Don't put DR in front of your fucking name. Don't call yourself Dr. Jim Stepani. I mean, say PhD. At least make that distinction.
Make a distinction, because people are going to assume medical doctor.
You have to assume the stupidest person in the room, right? And at the same time, I think we could both agree that you can't make all your content based on, you can't base, or you can't assume how someone can interpret it, because everyone can interpret it in a different way. It's never going to be, across the board. So there's always that risk, but you can certainly fucking do your best and not talk outside your lanes.
Yeah, stay in your motherfucking lane.
Absolutely.
I say that all the time. So.
Bro, I mean, this is a perfect time to wrap it up. I mean, we covered so much. Is there anything you want to say in closing? I want you to tell everyone where they can find you if they don't already know. Most of them do.
Every Damn Day Fitness on YouTube. Every Damn Day Fitness on Instagram. I'm going to be a lot more active on my Instagram. I'm Every Damn Day Fit on Twitter. I'm actually forcing myself to be on Twitter a little bit more. I don't know why. Just a challenge.
It's good shit.
But you can also find we post a lot of content on @DamnSerenity, which is my wife's Instagram, which we post a lot of mobility stuff there. We're going to be posting a lot more stuff there too. I'm taking. The thing is, we've really realized that YouTube's bad. Instagram is really bad. Like Instagram's where like fitness goes to fucking die. So we're gonna be hitting that up a lot more. The everydamndayfitness.net is our website. But otherwise, dude, it's always awesome talking to you.
For sure, man.
We're definitely going to hook up when we're down there down there in September. We'll do a raging in the car together.
People are going to lose their shit over that.
Yeah.
And if they see your second account pop up on Instagram, they're in a tough place. If they see
my main account is blocked by so many fucking people. Like they don't even I take it as almost like a compliment, but it's like the fat sex therapist preeminently blocked me. Like I couldn't find her.
She knew you were coming.
I had not ever said her name, heard of her, or anything like that. And I was like, somebody sent me this shit, and I was like, I gotta go look at it. And I was blocked. I'm like, I have never even heard of her before, and I was preeminently blocked. Like that is a serious bubble right there.
That
Like when you just look for people that like this person may not like my shit.
that happened to me when I didn't realize, what it looked like when someone blocked you. And I remember
Yeah.
looking, I'm like, where are they? I see their screen name. Oh, it's not
Yeah.
popping up. So I went on my dog's account and
Your dog's account. That's hilarious. No,
took
I
a
have the
look.
second. I have the second account. I mean, I have. I mean, dude, I don't know a social media person that doesn't have multiple accounts just because.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that does what we do. Like, I mean, it's so easy to block. So
I mean, it's one thing to block someone who's assaulting you or trolling you, but when you're blocking someone for stating simple facts,
yeah,
that's sad.
I'll have a conversation with anybody about it. Like, I mean, I really will. I'll have a conversation with anybody about it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I can do a live conversation with anybody. Like, because I don't talk in super like scientific terms. It's very general. Like, don't kill yourself with food. It's pretty fucking simple. Like, work out smart. Like, try to live till you're 90.
I mean, information only goes so far. That's not what's going to do it. People have to actually take some action. But you're helping a lot of people, and seeing your consistent just resilience to not letting the bullshit go unchecked, continues to inspire me and a lot of people. So, man, as always, bro, pleasure talking. I love it.
I don't do my podcast much anymore. We're kind of doing it like as interview style thing.
Okay.
By the way, but because we have some interviews coming up and they're going to go on the main channel. But I think it'll be neat for me, you, and maybe James and somebody else to come on your thing.
Yeah, we'll do like I'll figure out. We'll do like a multi-stream. We'll do like a whole little round table. It'll be badass.
I was going to do one, but I can't get it together.
Well, we'll look into it. We'll set it up. Let them know that who else should be on it.
I can think of fucking bunch of names.
There's
Like,
the fourth.
a bunch of me, you, James, shit. There's Michelle McDaniels does some funny stuff about fat acceptance. There's if we just want something for lifting, a really common sense guy that I really enjoy is called the Swole.
Mm-hmm.
He's I think he's got a master's degree in kinesiology, but he also is a competitive powerlifter. But he believes in longevity, trains real smart. I think that would be neat. There's a bunch, dude. We'll talk about it offline. But believe it or not, I see the tide shifting slightly. There's some people that are ready to fucking have. There's a bunch of people jumping on the bandwagon, like fucking a few larger the YouTube people are all of a sudden like, I hate the fitness industry. Like, motherfucker, you've been. But
yeah, you can tell a couple of those are like, you're just trying to.
Yeah,
you're seeing the tide too late.
Yeah. Thanks for taking my cue. Bills in the mail.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about it offline. Sounds good, man.
For sure.
I appreciate it.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Peace.
That didn't leave. There we go. All right. Taking the glasses off. Yeah, that was great, man. That was fantastic. The chat was going